is the Big O Show. This 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 is
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, CuttersEdgePro.com does some amazing stuff, and they're the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. You gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. CuttersEdgePro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in the corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you're getting some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help. Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty. Good afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome aboard. We're back here at Hialeah Park. Yes, sir. Alarmo is back. Well, Alarmo wasn't with me yesterday, actually. Because yesterday we were kind of flying a little solo is what we were doing, I think. Yeah, there we go. A little solo. So anyway, we had Sean over at the studio today. Obviously, full setup here today at Hialeah Park. Hey, don't forget. All right, you were asking for a home for the Dolphins broadcast. Well, we've got so far. We got a home for 4 shows, okay? And the first one is this Sunday against Denver, all right? And it's at Walk-Ons in Kendall. There's the billboard right there. So let's load it up, man. We need some big-time appearances by all you folks out there, okay? So if you're not going to the game, then come on out with us. We'll have prizes and giveaways. I hang out around the entire restaurant. Throughout the game and stuff like that, and talking to folks, and obviously taking picks and whatever it is that we do throughout the game, and talk a lot of sports. So we'll do our pre and post game show there at Walk-Ons in Kendall. Super easy to get to, right off of Kendall Drive and the Turnpike, and you go west about 10 minutes, and you're right there at Walk-Ons on the left side, right next to the new and not so new Baptist Health. I mean, it's new, but it's, like, I don't know, 7-8 years is new. That's actually really, really new, actually. But that's the one I went to it initially when my heart issue was going on, and obviously great sponsors of ours, Baptist Health of South Florida, and you can visit them. But no, seriously, Walk-Ons is right next to it there. You'll see it, and come on out, man. It is a ginormous, beautiful restaurant. It's got TVs galore. They've had even more from last year, and they were kind of transitioning and adding some new TVs and all that. And the bar is awesome because it has 2 levels of TVs all the way around it, man. It's really cool. So great place for the family to come on out, and the food is awesome. What are you looking forward to the most? The alligator bites and the logs. I was wondering how long it was going to be. Video unavailable. What's that?
I got a bypass on it, but they're going to hit us.
Oh, they're going to hit us?
Yeah.
So, but if you lower the volume and all that, they'll still hit us? Yeah. Oh, no, I'm just wondering. Sometimes they may not pick up the volume. Right. Yeah.
There's a way around it. It's just to know that it's going to get blocked.
Should I just do it as a segment? Well, because just so you know, let's let you into how the meat is made. Because we really
so it's not
know,
the mystery voice and you just
really
talking back and forth.
We really don't know how the sausage is made. You know what I'm saying? You never know how the hot dog really is made. You know what I'm saying? So that I was yesterday. If you watched the Tua press conference, okay, there was a question by Joe Shad, and I love Joe Shad to death, and he was like, there was a play where you move to the right a little bit to buy yourself half a second. Remember, we talked about it on our show, and that he bought himself time to throw. And then I kind of told him I did in that. And it's like, well, that's kind of a surprise to you. That wasn't a surprise to me. That's who he is. You know what I'm saying? And so he then asked Tua, did you watch the Tua press conference yesterday? So he asked Tua about that play. And he says, has your spidey sense gotten better? And Tua laughed at the whole spidey sense thing. You know what I'm saying? So I then went back to 2020 and 2021, and I wanted to do it so I can kind of put it all together, because see, things happen, and I don't do stuff for drama or sensationalism or anything like that. And maybe for Joe, okay, it has nothing to do with that. Maybe Joe is truly that naive about that play. And why? Because I went in 2020 and 2021 and I found like 8 or 9 of them. Okay? And I have them here labeled exactly when, in the pocket, he does exactly that, what he did now in 2020 and in 2021 several times, where he manipulates the pocket and all that. And you know what? You know what I also found? Marcel wanted off platform. There was another one where he busts through the middle and he does. It's a shorter pass, but it's the same thing, off platform, and it's I wanted to make the point that maybe Joe didn't notice it, and maybe it's because he's kind of, some of these guys had kind of negative viewpoints.
That's what I was going to say. I think it's more the negative viewpoints on him at that point.
Right.
That it wasn't. It was just
they weren't seeing it.
Yep.
They weren't seeing it. Exactly. And I think that goes on with Omar. I think that goes on with Poop. I think that goes on with Joe Shad. I think that goes on with a lot of the folks that all of a sudden now they think that Tua's like a good quarterback now, when he was always a good quarterback, dude. He always had instincts. And that's what I was going to show you, his instincts, which you all know he has. Most of you know he has. And just, there's a video. You go put to a 2020 highlights, right? And then 2021. And in the 2020, you can go to the 31-second mark, the 114, the 150, and the 234. In the 2021, this is all recorded, so you can go back. If you find it, it's like a 8-minute video or something. It's at the 22-second mark, the 312 mark, the 425, the 508, the 839, the 908, the 1026, and the 1042. All Spidey sense. But it's funny, and I think Tua laughs too on the podium when you watch it. He's tripping out about it, and it's like this dude is noticing this now about me when that's kind of been my game the entire time. And so I just found that really humorous when I was watching that press conference, because it's like, yo, dude, he does these things. He's been doing them. You just don't allow yourself, because you're so dead set on he's not the guy because of this or this that you've created in your mind. You know what I mean? And so that's why I want to do it. But if we're going to get tagged.
I went to open it and it tagged it from my email. That's what I got when I went to open it from my email. I can bypass it, but I can guarantee you they're going to hit us on it, because they hit us on everything else.
Yeah.
But there might be a way around it. If you do the clip,
hey,
I might be able to minimize it in the window for those plays, like make another window on the post-production of the video. Then it's not the whole screen or the whole window. We can do like a green screen type.
What if I record it, do the segment, and then you just put it on social media? We can get away with it.
Yeah, we probably can. Yeah. Without putting it on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Without monetizing it.
Yeah.
That way we're not going to monetize it anyway.
If you've already got the times marched down, I can get them and just add it to the video after in post production.
Here.
For social media.
Write them down there if you want.
I'll get it
no, write them down now so you have them. Video one's the one on the top, video two is the one on the bottom. And by the way, the back end is you'll see the times. It starts on the bottom one.
Mm-hmm.
I had to then go the other way to finish it. Okay. You'll see the timing. But yeah, I'm gonna put it all together because I find it humorous. You know what I mean? I love these guys. I got no problem with any of these guys. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I kind of trip out when over the years. You could go back and watch the videos over the first few years, and like they say things, and I'm like, yo, dude, he does this, so it's just funny, and I want you guys to, if you can, watch the press conference from yesterday, and then I'm going to put that together. I am going to put it together because I think it's important. It's educational. It's not, because then you have people reading it and then going off and then they go to the water cooler and they tell their buddy, oh, you see how Tua's improved his awareness? Well, he hasn't, bro. It's the same guy. He's always been aware of what the hell's going on. You just are, maybe you're shell-shocked from Tannehill or something, who had no awareness whatsoever. By the way, Herbert does that every once in a while. You know that, right? Like Herbert has accuracy, something Tannehill does not have. Like Herbert has ball placement. Like he can throw the ball. Okay? He can throw the ball. There's no doubt about that. But he also has a little tendency of not seeing the blitz when it's coming and kind of eats it. You know what I'm saying? Look, it happens to every quarterback because you're going to get surprised. That happens to every quarterback. But there are moments where you could see it and get rid of it and do something about it, or anticipate the blitz because you know where it's coming from. You know what your protection, the protection you set, all of a sudden you figured it out that it's not going to help you. And so where the hole is going to be and where the rusher is going to be, and you've got to then be prepared to get rid of it right away. I have a Spidey sense one that is one of the coolest ones, where he snaps the ball, and on the snap, he feels a guy come right through the middle of the line, and he pulls. As he's snapping the ball, he has to then pull it back even quicker from the defender to then get rid of it super. I mean, it's a hell of a play by him. And I have it there. And I was going to show it to you because there were several Spidey sense plays, like, to use Joe Shad's line. And they have nothing to do with 2023. It's 2021 and 2020, So did you see that confusing part on the second line? And then, that it started at 22 and then 908, 1026, and 1042 is after 839. You understand? Those three are actually the last three. No. Oh, no, that's the year. No, that's just 2021. 22 is the 22 second mark, actually. Yeah. So, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. No, we're done. Go ahead.
No, I was going to, there's somebody in the chat, Tommy Scheffler.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying to yesterday's show, Peter Shager has mentioned his son likes the Dolphins.
Okay. All right. There you go. I knew there was something, bro. I knew there was something. It's been going on for a couple of years. Even when I had no hope for them, he would give some hope for them. And I'm like, yo, this guy's got to be a Dolphins fan. Like, I'll be honest, even if the Dolphins suck, I'll tell you they suck. If they're doing a bad move, I'll tell you that they're doing a bad move. If Vic Fangio did not do a good job in week 1, I'm going to tell you he didn't do a good job in week 1. You know what I'm saying? So I don't hold back. I'm a hometown guy, but that doesn't stop me from being objective about the whole thing, So to me, Schrager has a little, he has a little hometown Dolphin in him or something, because it's constant, dude. I always see him, kind of favoring the Dolphins one way or another. So his son likes the Dolphins. That's interesting. But he might be one of those media members that doesn't want to admit that he's a fan of something, because I've met those oh, no, I don't root for anybody. Really? So you got into sports and you weren't rooting for anybody when you were a kid? Really? Am I supposed to believe that? Like, come on, man. Is it true Waddle has been ruled out? He hasn't been ruled out, Richard. He hasn't been ruled out. He just didn't practice today. But I can Teron Armstead could have played last week. They held him out. You know what I'm saying? So they have no problem holding a player out when they're not ready, And I think the Waddle thing, and because optics, things that went on last year with Tua, and because that was shown on television, the guy whacking Waddle in the head, I just feel they're going to take the precautionary approach, okay? And I was going to talk about this today, so I might as well get into it now. Waddle didn't practice today. And so now we're talking about a couple of days already that he's not going to practice. I think he is done for this game against the Denver Broncos when it's all said and done. I think they're going to hold him out for the week as precautionary. The good thing is, folks, I believe, Tyreek is going to play, but you're going to get more Berrios. You're going to get more Craycraft. And then here's the part that I find interesting. You need to get Eazy-E on the field to do some receiving, because the Patriots immediately eliminated the run stuff. Why? Because you brought them out, and that's all you've used them as, pretty much. Now, without Waddle, you can now use a combination of receivers, okay? Craycraft and Zukama, and who knows, maybe you activate Chosen from the practice squad. Maybe you activate Braylon Sanders from the practice squad. Do not be shocked if Braylon Sanders is the guy that is activated over Robbie Chosen, because I think Braylon Sanders is the better football player. Okay? Understand that. And this is why I told you that Robbie wasn't going to make the team, the 53, because I didn't think he was a better football player than Craycraft. Definitely not better football player than Braxton Berrios. He doesn't help you anywhere except at wideout, and he only helps you at one position on wideout, where you can actually play Craycraft at multiple positions, plus he helps you out on special teams, and he can actually work the middle of the field, something that really Robbie Chosen doesn't do. He's kind of more of a speed finesse outside guy. So don't be even surprised that it's Braylon Sanders that gets activated, not Robbie Chosen. Okay? If Braylon is more comfortable with the offense right now than he was last year, I could see that happening. But the other thing is, you've got such a variety of wide receivers opposite of Tyreek Hill that I think you have enough that you should be able to beat the Denver Broncos without Jalen Waddle. If you need Jalen Waddle to beat that team, then I kind of feel sorry for you. And I don't think that's the case. Plus, you've got an exceptional offensive mind in Mike McDaniel, and he'll be able to scheme stuff. I think that Waddle doesn't play, and when it's all said and done, I think you're going to have a nice combination of wide receivers opposite of Tyreek Hill, and that'll be really, really cool. Let's see. Mr. Bonafide says, good afternoon, Big O. I'm excited for my first home game this Sunday at Hard Rock. Good for you, man. Good for you. Isaiah's in the house. John Padilla, Ray Sosa, Mr. Torres, Giovanni, One-Eyed Jack. Big O, are we going to be without Tyreek and Waddle? No, just Waddle. I think Tyreek plays. Waddle, I'm pretty sure is not going to end up playing. Let's see. Daniel Berry is in. Steven Gonzalez, Gus 1388, Boss B, Dude 67, Ryan AP, Richard McLean. Is it true that Waddle? No. Yeah, I read that one. J-Town, Brian Landis, Ragin, Jay Gelfin is in. Robert Taylor killed it. Yeah, man. That goal that Robert Taylor did last night, where he goes all the way around the box and then he crosses over and hits the other side of the goal. That was a thing of beauty, brother. I mean, a thing of beauty. Okay. And you know what? We always like to talk about who is the MVP of the night, right? And we like doing it with our Cutter's Edge MVP of the night.
Who's last night's MVP? For your complete landscape solutions anywhere in South Florida, there's only one MVP. CuttersEdgePro.com. Here's our CuttersEdgePro.com MVP of the night.
Messi, injured, he took himself out, whatever it is, tweet something, clearly not himself. Jordi Alba went out with right before he did. So clearly those guys are not themselves. They've played way too much in the last month. It's taken a toll on this team. And last night, you're still trying to make that push for the playoffs. It's a crazy-ass push to make for the playoffs. But Messi went out in the 37th minute, and Jordi Alba went out a couple minutes before that. And all of a sudden, you're without two of your best players, and including the best player in the league and maybe in the world in Messi, and they're scoreless against, a Toronto team that I know is bad, but now you're missing those two guys, and then you're wondering how they're going to respond. And Fadias got that first goal at the 48th minute to end the first half, and that was huge. But Robert Taylor has really found his groove with Inter Miami, and this is a guy that's bounced around throughout his career. He's 28 years old, not one of the young guys. He's not the Fadias. He's not the Kremoski. He's not those Gomez, some of those young guys that they have on this team. He's not one of those kind of cats. He's a little older. He's kind of in between, but he has definitely found his groove here with Inter Miami. And with that, his confidence has grown. And he was exploding as a player when Messi was on the pitch with him. Now there have been instances that Messi isn't on the pitch, and including last night, you needed somebody to step up. And even though the Fadias goal at the 48th minute was the deciding one because you won 4-0, Robert Taylor scores a goal early on in that second half at the 54th minute Then he added the fourth goal of the night in the 87th minute, which was a beautiful thing. Kudos to Inter Miami, and kudos to Robert Taylor, who has had himself one hell of a season and definitely the Cutter's Edge MVP of the night.
The MVP of the night is brought to you by CuttersEdgePro.com. Servicing HOAs, condominiums, townhomes, commercial properties, corporate parks, and malls throughout South Florida. CuttersEdgePro.com. Providing South Florida MVP performance every day of the year.
Right, and make sure you call our friends at Cutter's Edge Pro anywhere in South Florida, Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties. You call my guy, William Quigley. He does an amazing job. Mike, Gilbert, all the great people out there at Cutter's Edge Pro, man, they are just absolutely phenomenal. And it doesn't matter what you want to do, outdoor lighting, irrigation, artificial grass. And let me tell you, if you own dogs like we do, artificial grass is the best. The best. We've been getting pounded with rain the last couple of days in West Kendall. I'm sure you guys have gotten your share of rain somewhere throughout South Florida, but I can tell you in West Kendall, the wind has picked up and everything. And our landscaping is just over a year. And even the big Sylvester palm trees, and man, the winds have been humming, and those palm trees have been solid. And we have gotten a ton of rain. And the way that artificial turf drains, I mean, it drains with a quickness, man. It is really amazing. So I'm telling you, Cutter's Edge Pro, the installation, second to none. It's been there for over a year. Nothing growing through. No grass, no nothing. That's why we tell you, Cutter's Edge Pro, they absolutely make the difference, and they do it the right way. So synthetic turf, outdoor lighting, landscape design, tree trimming removals, Cutter's Edge Pro, Cutter's Edge MVP of the night. All right. Craycraft and Barrios can do the job. Two has great chemistry with Craycraft, and Barrios has the speed to play outside in Waddle's role. You don't even have to play him outside. You play him inside. You can play Craycraft outside. You can play Zukama outside. You can play Cedric Wilson outside. So you've got plenty of guys that you can play on the outside. You keep Barrios in his spot as the nickel guy and the third wide receiver in the slot. That's where he excels, and I think that's what you end up doing. So listen, man, you're not playing a great team. You can find ways to win this game. Okay, you can definitely find ways to win this game. Safid Dean's going to join us at 3:30. All right, we'll talk to Safid Dean. We'll get his thoughts on everything Miami Dolphins. Emilio is in the house. How's everybody doing today? God, it's nice to enjoy a 2-0 start. Loving the versatility of the offense and the defense's resiliency. LFG, baby. Let's see. TJG says, good afternoon, Owen Sean. JS says, we have never been the same after leaving the beloved Orange Bowl. The noise was deafening. It's the teams, bro. The teams never went to that stadium. You can stop with that whole Orange Bowl crap and all that. The Orange Bowl was fantastic. It was home field advantage. The place was humming. You can stomp your feet and make all kinds of noise and create a home field advantage. The stadium that they're at right now, especially now with the closed roof, you can create the same kind of home field advantage. The problem is the Dolphins have never played like they played in the Orange Bowl. And the Hurricanes have never, ever played like they played in the Orange Bowl. Okay? That's all it is. It's all mental masturbation. The crap that you guys come up with this whole home field advantage and reminiscing and all that stuff. You can reminisce all you want about the Orange Bowl, dude. All right? Hard Rock can become hell for an opposing team. It's up to the Dolphins, and it's up to the Canes. Those teams have never been great at that stadium. They were great in the Orange Bowl. The word great has never, ever been on display for the Miami Dolphins or the Miami Hurricanes at Hard Rock Stadium. Joe Robbie, pro player, Shark. What was it? Land Shark. Land Shark, right? Land Shark. What other garbage they called that stadium? Okay, the football teams have never showed up, and that's how you become dominant. If you have a great team, your fans go crazy and they create all kinds of noise for you. That stadium now with a roof is primed to be an absolute monster, but it's up to the teams. Sun Life Stadium. Yep, that's another garbage that they threw out there. Okay? So, got to stop with that crap already. Stop living in the past. All right? It makes zero sense when people say that stuff about the Orange Bowl. Okay? Orange Bowl is home field advantage, but Pro Player or Hard Rock or Underwear Stadium or whatever the hell it is, it could easily be home field advantage. It's, maybe now the Dolphins don't suck anymore. Maybe you'll start seeing like a real home field advantage. You got a little taste with UM and Notre Dame, like a little taste, because they were frauds. So you had fraudulent excitement. When it's real excitement that you're constantly winning and you always win at home and you dominate at home, trust me, you will be a lot louder, you will be a lot more confident, and that place will be home field advantage. But stop with the mental masturbation about the Orange Bowl. It's a whole bunch of bullshit. Hard Rock Stadium offers a better advantage than the Orange Bowl. The team needs to win there. Exactly. Waddle wasn't seen during media viewing. We'll have to wait for injury. He's out, Brad. He's out. He's out. Done. Not playing this week. Forget about it. Okay? That's my professional guesstimation. No insight. I'm not breaking any news. I'm not telling you it's news. But my gut, which is pretty damn good when it comes to the Dolphins. Okay? It's great for food, too, because it's big. But it's also the best gut in town when it comes to the Dolphins. Okay? Nobody on TV, nobody on radio, nobody writing. Nobody comes close to yours truly when it comes to figuring out what's going on with this team or guessing what's going to happen with this team. Nobody in the last 30 years. So I'll go. My guess is Waddle is out. That's my guess. Okay? That's where I'm going. True Fin fan, thank you for the love on the super chat. So tired of this so-called curse in Stadium Bull. Marlins won 2 championships there, bro. The Marlins were great at that stadium. Hurricanes and Dolphins have never been great at that stadium. Ever. They haven't even come close to being great at that stadium. Okay? They haven't come close to being very good. Okay? I mean, let's be honest. The Dolphins and the Hurricanes mostly have been pathetic at that stadium. So if the team you're going to see 95% of the time over the last 20-something years has been pathetic, the teams that you're going to Hard Rock Stadium have been pretty much pathetic for 95% of their existence in that stadium. The other 5%, they've been all right, half decent sometimes, never anything special. No matter how much Jimmy Johnson told you they were going to be special, they were never special. So how do you expect to create a home field advantage when the teams are pathetic? See what I'm saying? So when they get back to being great again, which I think the Dolphins are pretty close to it, and the Canes are probably a year away from greatness, watch how that stadium becomes home field advantage. And people won't be mentioning anymore about Indian burials when you conveniently leave out the Marlins. Stupid shit that people come up with, bro. Enough of this Orange Bowl stuff. It's just ridiculous, bro. Really is ridiculous. Let's go. Safedine is ready to go with the BaptistHealth.net/ortho Miami Dolphins report.
Let's get the latest from the Aqua and Orange with our Baptist Health of South Florida Miami Dolphins report with USA Today insider Safid Dean. From orthopedics, sports medicine, cardiovascular, and even cancer. Get the world-class healthcare your family deserves at BaptistHealth.net. Here's Safid Dean.
All right. There he is. Safid, I am telling everybody Waddle's out. I'm not breaking any news. I'm not telling you that somebody told me or anything. I think Waddle's out, dude. I think everything that happened last year with Tua, optics, you saw the optics of him getting whacked on the head. They have taken the precautionary approach with anything and everything. You and I know Armstead could have played last week. He could have played last week because obviously practice went well with him and his body responded, and they held him out. And they've been precautionary about Wilson, and they've been precautionary about everything. I kind of get the feeling that they're going to go without Waddle this weekend. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, 100%. Why wouldn't you? Look, Waddle took a pretty wicked hit to the back of the head during that Patriots game. He was jumping up to get a pass, and the safety just came with like no regard of life, right?
Yeah.
Waddle obviously came off the field. He's one of the toughest kids on the team, that's for sure. And just on top of the fact that he had the midsection oblique injury earlier this season in training camp, and he came back from that to play a couple games. With this, concussion thing, I would definitely not take it lightly. The offense could be fine without Waddle for a week or two if it needed to be. I can definitely see him coming back next week as well. They're going to need him against Buffalo. So, yeah, the right move is to sit Waddle. We'll see about Armstead. Armstead's obviously got a little uptick in practice.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely see them wanting to get Armstead out, because it's a home game. To get him ready for Buffalo game too. But
exactly,
you got some good chemistry on the O-line, Big O. I wouldn't, not to say I would mess with the chemistry, but I like to see what I have with Armstead, and determine from there.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. And the key is how you just ended that. The key is we have to get him some playing time before Buffalo, because that's the game we really need, because it's a message game is what it is. For the Dolphins, because it'll be a little bit you'll lose some air out of the balloon, let's put it that way, if you lose that game, because all of a sudden it's like, damn, dude, this is the hump that you got to get over, and by the way, you're also going to Buffalo, which that's your third road game of the year, which now will leave you with 5 road games, I believe, left.
Sure.
And that if you can win that one for all those other reasons, it becomes huge. But I think it's the barometer game, and that's kind of why you want to win that game. But you want to have Armstead healthy, you want to have Waddle healthy, and I think you got to prepare Armstead this week and rest Waddle this week in order to get ready for Buffalo.
It's more than a barometer game, Big O. It's a statement game. This is our division now. That's what the Dolphins are kind of going up against when they play Buffalo next week, excuse me. You see, we're getting ahead right here. I guess that's the biggest question for the Dolphins right now is, are they looking ahead to Buffalo, or are they focused on Denver? Look, Denver is probably a team that you could sleep on, sure. But, why would you? There's going to give you some stiff competition. Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, they're going to be game 3 of what's going on over there in Denver. And the defense, obviously, we know Pat Surtain. We know some of the guys over there are pretty good. They haven't showed it last season. They didn't show it in 2 games as much this year. But I will say that the Dolphins do need to take care of business. It will lack a little luster if they're 2-1 going into Buffalo. But like you said, you can't, and on top of that, you can't lose at home. Those are the rules. You can't lose at home, especially in your home opener. But yeah, man, I'm excited as everything for this game in Buffalo next week, because you saw how the Dolphins closed the gap on Buffalo last year. Sure, they lost twice out of the 3 games, including the 1 playoff game. But the gap is closed. And if there's any time to really strike on Buffalo, it's got to be early on this year when they don't look as dominant as they have in years past.
Yeah, and you got to take advantage. Although I will say this, I was in the car this morning, and I listened to Rose, and he said on the plane back to Miami, there was quiet on the plane. It was like a business trip, and they weren't celebrating or anything like that, which that tells me they're not overlooking Denver or anybody else. I really think 8-3 last year was a real lesson for this team. I really think all the injuries and everything else, and they were high on life at that moment. At 8-3, Tua was looking like an MVP. Everything was rolling. I think the lesson of last year is why they won't overlook anything this year, and why I don't think they'll overlook a team or a situation, because their world got spun around last year at 8-3, and I think that was a really good lesson for them.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. There's no, a slice of humble pie is good for every one of us now and then, and that's what that provided last year. That's what it provided them the year before when they started 2-7, 0-7, something like that, and they came back and finished 500 barely. But look, Big O, I can see why you come back from New England and it's a business trip and everybody's quiet. You got the night game, everybody's tired, long day, business is taken care of. The Patriots win doesn't mean as much as it once did a couple years ago. Remember when Ryan Fitzpatrick threw the game-winning touchdown at Gesicki? That was 2019, 2020, I believe. That was a big, big win. Dolphins didn't used to win in Foxborough. Now Tua is 5-0, and the Dolphins are 5-0 when Tua is playing against them, and they don't have Brady anymore. So, the tide has turned in the Dolphins-Patriots rivalry, one where the Dolphins do not disrespect or disregard anything that New England brings to them, because they got their ass whooped by New England so many times the past 20 years before that, right? Yeah. So I can definitely see them taking the business-like approach for sure. And look, you can't overlook Denver. This is a very, very winnable game. You can go 3-0 in the AFC over AFC teams.
Mm-hmm.
You can still keep a game ahead of the Chiefs if they win and beat the Bears, what they're expected to do. Big O, I look at this as a big picture kind of thing for the Dolphins and the Chiefs and every other team trying to get into the playoffs. You're trying to get a week off in January, man. Every game counts. And we looked at the schedule a little bit last week. You're trying to get the bye week in the playoffs is what I meant. But we look at the schedule a little bit last week. I think the Dolphins and the Chiefs are going to be 9-0 and 8-1 when they face each other in Germany later this year. If everything pans out really well, we'll knock on wood and do everything that we have to do. But you're playing for seeding. You're playing for every little bit counts. Every win counts. And we know, in years past, the Dolphins have come short in the playoff race. And the more and more wins that you can come and get, and it looks like the Dolphins will get, because their schedule softens up a little bit after Buffalo. But you got to take advantage of them all, man.
Hey, speaking of Ryan Fitzpatrick, it looks like X, if he was celebrating after that, when he might have impregnated somebody else, and he might have as many kids as Ryan Fitzpatrick soon. Holy crap, dude. What the hell is going on with X, bro? Jesus.
Yeah.
Has he ever heard of Trojan?
What's that?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, that's probably his response. Like, yo, what's that? It's
definitely. I don't want no part of that one, Big O. I'll tell you that much. I definitely, Xavier is one of my favorite guys in the locker room. There's always something that comes out, and there's always something that comes out after that refutes everything. So we will see. Xavier's got a great legal team behind him for sure.
He needs it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
He needs it, because apparently what he hangs around with isn't necessarily, prime choice, apparently. Wow. Holy man, that guy is in one mess after another. I got to give him a lot of props on this. With all that baby mama, trouble and hustle and all that stuff, he still takes care of his business on the field. So he knows how to compartmentalize, man.
We also don't know if it's all true or not.
I'm sure all of it is not true. I'm sure some of it is true. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, some of us like to party. Some of us like to get down. Some of us do it a lot more than others.
Get down, boy. He likes to get down. That's for damn sure, bro. Wow.
That's for damn sure.
Holy moly, he likes to get down big time. All right. Do you see the Denver situation? Because, I was thinking of, maybe talking to some of the guys that covered Denver, but I'm like, this is such an unattractive team there's nothing to talk about Denver. It's just bad organization right now. It's dysfunctional. The coach wants to put a wristband on the quarterback. The quarterback says, "Oh no, we're doing fine in and out of the huddle." And Russell isn't necessarily playing bad, to be quite honest. He's actually playing half decent, but this is that team right now, brother. And let me tell you something. This guy, Sean Payton, is not a guy that is easy to root for.
I can definitely see that. Look, the Broncos lost their first 2 games. They're 0-2, but they lost by 1 point and 2 points. So I wasn't telling me that's a team that's going to be you're going to roll over that team. The Dolphins really have to stick to their guns here and go out and beat this team. 1. Number 2, look, everybody knows that when you try to do a rebuilding situation, it comes with the lumps, it comes with the learning curves, it comes with the setbacks, and you kind of have to deal with it. And everybody knows year 1 is not really like a wash, or so to speak, but you're trying to build some sort of foundation. Denver's problem is it's year 1 again because they fired Nathaniel Hackett the year before that. Right. So what carryover do the Broncos have from Nathaniel Hackett to Sean Payton? Obviously not much, because Sean Payton came out and blasted the job that Nathaniel Hackett did and called it one of the worst in NFL history. We had that on usatoday.com, blew it up before the whole NFL season, right? And also Sean Payton, he's a talker. He's not going to shut his mouth, although it might be the best for him and his team. Even this coming up with the play calling and stuff like that. The play calls are too loud or too long. Russell Wilson has never wore a wristband before, and now he is. They're trying to simplify some of the play calls right now. I mean, look, this is a team in heavy transition. It's just you can't look at them as a rebuilding team because there's no rookie quarterback and there's no rookie first-time coach. This is a Super Bowl winning coach. It's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. We got some brand new Walmart money that's owning the team right now. So there's a lot of expectations in Denver. And the poor Broncos are in the same division as Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. So you can see how things are going from their point of view. Not great.
Yeah, no, it's not going so good for Justin Herbert either, by the way.
Of course not.
Do you think Tua is going to take out some receipts on Sunday and say, so that guy thought that Teddy Bridgewater was better than I am? But then again, there were a lot of people, fans, and some media that thought Teddy was somewhere in the same neighborhood as Tua, which I'm not sure what drugs you all were doing, but whatever. No, seriously. No, so I'm just wondering, do you think Tua, who he does keep receipts, okay? That's been proven over and over again. He's even talked about it. So what do you think? You think he's looking for a little extra sauce on this victory?
I think Tua's got the right amount of sauce on everything right now. And I think the good thing about it is he's just letting everything kind of happen. The game plan comes in, they go into the game, they kick ass, and they walk out and take names with them, right? You look at J.C. Jackson the first week of the season. Last year, J.C. Jackson said pretty much if Tua's one read, that's it for him. All right. Well, yeah, you're my first read, and I'm going to torch you because I got the best receiver in the game right now, right? Week 2, there was not much chatter for sure, but Tua did a great job because he was on Sunday night. It was his show. We all saw the primetime games that happened, the doubleheader on Monday, which was hard to watch. But Tua was the face of the NFL after week 1, and he definitely was week 2 as well because they gave him the Sunday night game, and he performed really well. And now when you're going into week 3 here coming up with the Broncos, sure, Tua's going to definitely be lighting it up, and I expect him to look over the sideline and give Sean Payton a wink or two, during the game because he's going to be up, 2 scores with 300-plus yards, maybe 4 touchdowns on Sunday. So Tua, whenever Tua says, I don't pay attention to this, I don't pay attention to that, it's not true. Tua knows. Tua watches TV. Tua gets word coming back to him as much as he has done a good job of filtering out all of that and also kind of staying away from a majority of it. But if something comes across all of us, it's going to get to Tua at some point. And this happened last year. You better believe that, in the back of Tua's mind, he sees the game plan. He knows what's going to happen. He's going to go execute and deliver so that he can have the last laugh.
Running back, what do you think happens? Does A-Chain get more time now? I mean, he got a little bit last week, so why not give him a little bit more since you've got already one of the guys banged up right now?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think A Chain is probably going to get some more. He needs to get some more because it's always great to have some, experience for sure. But I mean, man, Mostert ran really well last week, and I don't know why you would want to take the ball away from that guy.
No,
Obviously not. A Chain. I mean, look,
you
Ahmed
got to
has.
compliment. You got to run. Mostert's not a bell cow either. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, of course, of course. I mean, look, Mostert had 18 touches last week, and he was really, really efficient. 121 yards, 6.7 yards per carry, 2 touchdown runs, including that 43-yarder. Ahmed only had 6 touches last week, 3 catches, 3 runs. A Chain with 1 run and probably some special teams work. Sure, you get him into the mix, but I can definitely see this going back to the week 1 game plan, where it's just all up to Tua, and they're going to torch him, kind of quick and early. And probably just run some guys out later on in the match. So we'll see. You heard how I said match. I've been covering Messi too much.
How about last night, bro? Jesus, that was Robert Taylor, bro, he has grown so much. That second goal where he whipped around the box. That was nice.
That was good.
Hell, dude. That was really, really. I mean, he goes out. Actually, Alba goes out first, then Messi goes out, and you're like, holy crap, what's going on? And clearly he's banged up. He must have some little tweak.
Yeah.
And obviously he's not going to play against Orlando on Sunday. They're going to save him for the U.S. Open Cup, I would imagine. But last night, that was fun, bro, because it was a bunch of the kids. I know Taylor's not a kid. He's 28. But Fadias and Kremoski, the Kremoski play was terrific, dude.
Yes. The give and go was great.
Yeah, the give and go, because right when he gave it, he told them, like, he saw the lane.
And he kept running.
And he took off. After he passed it, he hauled and clearly saw it. It was a beautiful pass, and then he struck it, and it was a clean shot, and it was good.
How do I say Farias the right way?
Fadias.
Okay, Fadias.
Yeah,
that kid is he's really come on strong too, man. It's kind of cool to see how this Inter Miami team has really won all these games. Because right now they're like 12 or 13 games with Messi, right? And when it first started, it was Robert Taylor. Then, Josef Martinez picked up a little bit. Then it was Kremoski, who played really well. Campana has been the guy in the last couple games for sure. And now you got a combo of everybody. But Farias has really been like an agitator a little bit for them. He's young, he's quick. And, I think he's done really well. Sergio, Busquets has done really well the last couple, games. He's probably the only one that doesn't have an injury and is still playing. So that guy's durability.
His passes are sick.
Yeah, when he's in the middle of the field, everything is a lot more calm for everybody else.
Plus, I should talk to Welton Rayom, because if they need to add a third lawyer, I mean, Busquets is the guy, bro, because he's in the middle of that match, breaking up fights, talking to the referee.
He's doing good.
He's doing all of the negotiating that goes on the pitch.
Yeah.
Sergio Busquets is the guy, bro. I mean, like, it's Busquets' law firm when they're on the pitch. It's amazing. Notice how
it is.
Any kind of disagreement, penalty, fight, everything, Busquets is in the middle of it all, bro.
Yeah,
he's down, and it's just awesome.
He's the enforcer, he's the negotiator, he's the mediator, he's all of the above, right?
Yeah.
But let's talk about Messi real quick, man. I'm not really concerned, but I have some concern if that's Messi, 34 minutes into the match, he kind of charged towards the box, and the defender kind of pushed him out wide a little bit, but you could tell Messi gave his all in that run. And then after he kind of came back towards the midfield area, he was like hunched over, and it looked like he was touching his right calf, I believe, like one of his legs he was touching. And the coach, Dr. Martino, said after the match that he was, it's an old injury, maybe like some scar tissue from an old injury, and also fatigue, I guess. So I guess it's both, a little bit of both. But when Martino said he's not going to play against Orlando City, I was like, all right, this could be a little bit more serious than it could be, because it sucks. Or Atlanta has a huge fan base, probably the biggest MLS stadium. They obviously have the turf too. But Orlando City, it's such a huge Hispanic community, and it's Inter Miami's rival, that it kind of does suck that Messi won't get to play there.
But he wasn't going to play anyway, because with the U.S. Open Cup on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And dude, the last month, I think if they had to do it all over again, they might have broken it up a little bit more and they would have stopped Messi from Messi. Like, you know how you had to stop Armstead from Armstead last week because I'm sure Armstead wanted to play and nah, we're going to hold you out another week. Let's take it easy here. And you got to protect the player from himself. And I think if hindsight's always 2020, if you look at this whole thing, you probably would have handled this a little differently and you would have given him some breaks. Like the 130-minute game. I was shocked he played every minute of that game.
Yeah. And didn't that game go to penalties too after
Yeah,
that?
bro. Yeah. And then he played right away a couple of days later. And it was like
it is a lot for Messi because you don't know really how to do it. You don't know if you should start him like they did last night and pull him early. Because how do you pull that guy off the field, right?
Right.
But the right, I felt like the right thing that they were doing was kind of having him come in like the 70th minute or so, play for 20 minutes, go give your all, maybe you score a goal. It worked the first couple games or so. And then you kind of have that highlight moment if he does score.
What sucks is you didn't need him last night in hindsight.
Yeah, no, you didn't need him at all. You didn't need him at all.
At all.
But I guess it was good that he got a little work in. And I mean, I don't know. Messi's the greatest player in the world, yes. And I don't know if you can give him 27 days off and then have him play in a final. Even though as great as he is, I don't know. Maybe there's something to be said about rhythm and things like that. And probably that's something that's why they wanted to get back in.
That's fair. That's really, really fair. All right. So you're expecting Armstead to come back. We're expecting Waddle probably to be out.
I'm not expecting. I mean, I could see Armstead coming back, but I can definitely see them giving him another week. I think the Buffalo game is really like we said earlier. The Buffalo game, you want to get him a couple reps against the Broncos to see what you have against the Bills. I could see that. I don't think he starts and play the whole game. I think he probably pulls a Messi in this one.
But wait a minute, hold on a second. You didn't want to start Messi after 27 days off. You're going to start. Armstead's had like 270 days off.
The way the Bills are playing, they might be fine with this O-line, but already how it is without Armstead.
No, actually, this O-line is actually, until proven otherwise, they've done a pretty decent job. I actually like them, but Armstead's going to want to play, bro. I mean,
of course. In hindsight, not in hindsight, but if they can get out this first month without Armstead and then have him play those cupcake games after, Panthers and Giants, whatever, get him back in the mix.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be set up really well.
Yeah. Bryce Young's already injured. He's out this week with an ankle injury already.
Should I take Seahawks over Seahawks over Panthers, or just keep it easy with Cowboys over Cardinals?
It was a lot of points. I looked at it and it was a lot of points. I don't like the Lions this week, to be quite honest.
It's a crazy week because there's not really too many good games. It's all a bunch of just.
I'll tell you what. I like Washington getting 6.5 from the Bills.
I
like the Pats giving the Jets 2.5, actually, because I can see them. They're the fundamentally sound team. I can see them winning by a field goal overall, and I can see the Patriots defense turning over Zach Wilson a few times too. Also. And then, believe it or not, I'm 4-0 with the Dolphins the first 2 weeks because I took the points and the money line, and I've won on all 4. And I'm laying the 6.5. I think Miami wins by 7. I had Miami winning by 7 against New England this past week, and I nailed that. I think Miami easily wins against Denver by 10 points. 10 points.
48 over under. I'd probably take that. I would take over on that one.
Yeah, this time I'm only taking one bet. I can't take the money line this week. The money line was, respectable last week. What was it? 135. So I laid $135 to win 100. I'll do that, but I'm not laying $235 to win 100. I'm not doing it.
No, that's a big favorite, huh?
Yeah. I'm just laying the points. I'm just going to lay the points, and that's it with the Dolphins this week. But there aren't a lot of lines I like this week. There's only 3 games I really like this week, overall. So we'll see. If you had to fear something from the Broncos for the Dolphins, what would it be?
If I had to fear something, maybe Javonte Williams, running the ball. Okay. I mean, sure, the Dolphins stopped the run a little bit last week. Mm-hmm. But week 1 was obviously what it was. So I can definitely see Javonte Williams maybe, going off a little bit. That's probably one. The outside of Judy, the Broncos receivers don't really scare me. I don't know if Surtain's not going to keep pace with Tyreek Hill. Like, they're going to move Tyreek around and motion and stuff like that. But if you need a play from another outside receiver and Surtain's covering them, I can definitely see that being an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Jason Sanders has to make some field goals in this game.
Yeah.
Well,
that
would be my.
He won't have the altitude to help him out, unfortunately.
Definitely not. But those would be my only things. But I think, look, Sunday's going to be a great atmosphere. First, home opener of the season. Dolphins already 2-0. They've been 3-0 in the past and completely just, fell flat. But this could be a special game. They go up 3-0. Everybody's going to be looking to them in Buffalo. What time's that game in Buffalo, man? That needs to be a primetime game. Should be. They better give it 1 o'clock.
I think it's a 1 o'clock game. Sean will look it up. By the way,
it's a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, and I'll let you go with this. If Waddle is out, which I think he will be,
me too.
Who do they activate? Chosen or Braylon Sanders?
I don't even know, man. I could see both those guys still being inactive.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. They have enough guys with Cedric Wilson. I
think Wilson comes up.
You know what I said? Ezukama, because the Patriots this week said, no, you're not running that crap with us anymore. And I think you need to go display Ezukama a little bit more as a wide receiver so you can sell receiver also, not just runner. And you've sold Ezukama so far the first 2 weeks as a runner, and New England caught up to it. And this week, if Waddle is out, maybe you can use Ezukama a little bit more as a wide receiver.
You can still run the ball. You can still run the ball and make those plays happen too. He just needs a little block here and there.
Sure. But I think you want to show some versatility with him so you can sell it differently. So when he's on the field, keep him guessing a little bit that, hey, he could go out on a pass pattern. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Yeah. All I'm hoping for, man, Tyreek better hydrate. He's going to be running a lot on Sunday. So I hope he's drinking some pickle juice, some water, Gatorade while he's playing Madden and Fortnite, and hopefully the Dolphins pull one out.
Pickle juice. Oh, that's gross. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Safid_Dean. Catch his work there at the USA Today. And, of course, doing his thing here twice a week, baby, with the BaptistHealth.net/ortho. Miami Dolphins report. Oh, actually, 3 times a week.
Three times, man. I'll see you post-game.
Post-game. I forgot post-game. That's right. All right. We'll see you post-game, baby. You be good.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you. There you go. The great Safid Dean. Yes, sir. And, of course, visit my friends at Baptist Health of South Florida Orthopedic Care, led by the Chief Medical Executive, John Uribe. And, of course, it combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic foot and ankle trauma, joint replacement, spine, hand, and sports medicine care. Visit BaptistHealth.net/ortho for more information. That's BaptistHealth.net/ortho.
The Baptist Health of South Florida Miami Dolphins report with insider Safid Dean is brought to you by Baptist Health of South Florida. From orthopedics, sports medicine, cardiovascular, and even cancer. Get the world-class healthcare your family deserves at BaptistHealth.net.
All right. Thank you. All right. Hour number 2 is underway, baby. And David Furones will join us with our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
No platform is more dedicated to the Miami Dolphins than this one. Let's get the latest for the Miami Dolphins nation with our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with David Furones.
All right. There he is, locked and loaded and ready to go. So are you picking the Dolphins this week to win? Oh, you're muted. Can't hear you.
There we go. Okay. No, it said unmute at first, and then I hit it, and I guess it switched back and forth. Of course, I'm picking the Dolphins to win. Are you asking me straight up money line or I guess the spread?
No, I'm not doing the money line this week. It's plus 235. It's too much, bro. I've taken the money line the last 2 weeks, and it's been beautiful. And I've taken the points also. This week, I'm actually going to lay the points to 6.5. But I can't do the money line. It's just too much. I got the Dolphins winning by 10 in this game. So I had them winning by 7 last week, and I nailed that. So I laid the points on that one. I thought I really liked the Dolphins last week.
So by that logic, you have them covering then. I'm
yes,
saying
I do.
6.5.
I'm laying the points here, and this week I'm laying the point. I took the points last week. I laid the points last week. I took the points the week before, right? I think that's how I went. And this week I am going to lay the 6.5 because I think they win by 10. Actually,
Yeah. In the Sun Sentinel, I said 28-17 Dolphins. So yeah, if you go by that, yep, I have them covering.
Yeah, I really like it. Are you expecting Waddle to be out? Because they've taken the precautionary approach, and I say he's out. Safit also agrees. What do you think?
Yeah, we don't have the injury report yet this Thursday, but he wasn't out at practice, was not seen, so that's a second straight day, a Thursday. He's trying to progress through concussion protocol, and we did see him Wednesday out there, but he didn't have his helmet on. He wasn't participating. He was in the stretch, but that was all. So if he wasn't seen today, not sure what that means, if that possibly a setback or just he wasn't really participating Wednesday anyway. So it might just be same level of concussion protocol, whatever step he was in that 5-step protocol. So still seems to be a ways away in the protocol. So not looking good for Sunday if by Thursday he's still not even a limited participant in practice.
I just think they'll take the precautionary approach anyway, with like they've done with everything so far. They've kind of taken everything slow. They haven't pushed anything whatsoever. I have a hard time. Plus, I hate to say it this way, you don't really need him for this week. You should be able to beat the Denver Broncos with the rest of your wide receiving core, which, by the way, is still a very good wide receiving core. Overall, I mean, Cedric Wilson, this is a great opportunity for him to shine. You can use Craycraft on the outside. You can use Ezukama on the outside. And if you want to activate Chosen or Braylon Sanders, you can actually do that. And Berrios can stay in the slot. And X can still terrorize. Tyreek can still terrorize everybody out there. So your receiving core will be fine, dude. I don't think it'll hurt.
Yeah, and McDaniel has taken a cautious approach previous times when he's dealing with concussion protocol. Now, those instances that I'm thinking of last year have been specifically with the quarterbacks, whether it's Tua, who got cleared on a Saturday, but then McDaniel had already decided on that he wasn't going to play that Sunday when Teddy Bridgewater went through a similar thing. So, and then he had Skylar Thompson already slated as the starter. So that's the quarterback who wasn't practicing all week. So maybe a wide receiver, he could look at it differently if Waddle was to be cleared by tomorrow or Saturday or even Sunday morning. But you're right. The Dolphins do have depth at receiver. Just based on the Broncos having Patrick Surtain II as an all-pro corner on one side, then if he is able to limit Tyreek Hill, which is still a big if because Tyreek is so dynamic and the motions in this offense are still going to get him open. But if Surtain were to be able to slow down Tyreek a little bit, then you do want that elite number 2 receiver to be able to go on the other side. But, I mean, you said it, the Dolphins have more targets for Braxton Berrios, River Craycraft. You can get Cedric Wilson activated. He's been inactive, and finally give him a chance to debut, maybe a Robbie Chosen as well if you bring him up from the practice squad. So not too worried about it.
Yeah, I don't think it's something that you should be too worried about overall. It sucks to lose him. Yes. But I think it'll be, overall, it'll be a good thing. A-Chain, are you expecting more playing time for A-Chain this week?
Yeah, got to be based on Salvon Ahmed. Mike McDaniel already knew on Wednesday he wasn't going to practice them either that day or today, Thursday. So, again, he wasn't seen today at practice. Groin injuries, they can linger a little bit. They can take some time to recover from. I think we saw that from Xavier Howard last year. He tried to play through that and then hurt the other groin because he's compensating out there on the field. So I would just say if Salvon Ahmed, you leave him off, and then you already know Raheem Mostert. He's turning into kind of a bell cow now, where he got those 18 carries last week. We haven't seen those kind of numbers, those kind of touches from him in the past, but to be able to handle that much of a workload, look really good doing it. And then you already know you're not going to have Jeff Wilson, so Salvon Ahmed is out. Go ahead and give A-Chain some more work. He debuted a little bit in the second half of that Patriots game, so got his first carry as an NFL rookie. So now maybe give him a shot at maybe breaking off a big one with that speed.
Wow, you see this? Trevon Diggs just tore his ACL. He is out for the year for the Cowboys.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the Cowboys are another team like the Dolphins that's becoming a sort of a national darling. Well, I guess the Cowboys always are, but just based on their start, that a lot of people. I mean, I see. I can't remember who I saw, but I mean, pundits it might have been Pat McAfee saying Cowboys Dolphins Super Bowl. The way it looks
I saw
right now.
it.
Yeah,
I saw, which I kind of laughed because I'm sorry, dude. I until I see clutchness from that quarterback, like I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think he's actually a decent passer, but in like really pressure type moments, Dak Prescott does not come through, dude. And like he was, I get it. They've torn ass here in the first 2 weeks, but he turns over the ball like crazy. I think he threw the most interceptions in the NFL last year. I have a hard time trusting Dak Prescott in clutch moments. That's
did
my
he throw
problem.
more than Josh Allen last year? Might have been Josh. Or was it Josh Allen or him?
One of the two, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Look it up for me. Who threw most interceptions last year? Who was? I'm. If it's not Dak, dude, he might have been second, but I could have sworn that Dak was number 2. So that's where I was differing with him because I can't trust the Cowboys. I hear this all the time about the Cowboys, and they do have a nice defense, bro. Their defense is special, my brother. Okay, give it to us.
There was a tie at 15 interceptions last year.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Who?
Dak Prescott
and
Davis Mills.
Oh, wow. I was surprised he threw enough. Well, he's always playing from behind.
Yes, dude. I was shocked I heard that name, Davis Mills. I was like, wow, he threw the ball that much that he got 15 interceptions? Or maybe he threw them in 5 games. I don't know.
Probably total turnovers because Josh Allen, you have to count the fumbles too.
Yeah. He had 14? Oh, there you go. You were close.
Yeah. Right.
Cousins, Carr, and who? And Allen were all in the top 5. Cousins, Carr, and Allen, rounded out the top 5 in that one. How about that, dude?
Yeah.
Do you expect Tua to be motivated because Sean Payton was talking shit about him last year?
I don't think that would be a source of motivation for him. That's just not the way he's wired. I think he means it when he always says that he doesn't pay attention to what's being said about him. I mean, even the Ryan Clark comments from, what was it, a month ago now, maybe a little less. He really was just told moments earlier, coming off the practice field by Dolphins PR, that, hey, this question is probably going to be coming. So that was kind of just the only time he had seen the clip or been prepped at all for it. So I really don't think he pays attention much to it. I think he's just motivated because he wants to win. He wants to produce, and just the team-oriented guy that he is. Yesterday, he was talking about how much he wants to win for South Florida and deliver a title coming off the inspiration that he's seen from the Heat and the Panthers making their runs to the NBA Finals and Stanley Cup Finals, respectively. So I think he's just motivated to win and win every week, regardless of who's on the other side and who has said what about him.
Hey, dude, I got to give Finn's 123 a little credit here. He made a great point about the Dallas Cowboys situation. Trevon Diggs is out. Bro, they have Noah Igbenogany. I mean, do you need anything more? I mean, come on, bro. I mean, you just slide Noah right into Trevon Diggs' spot. Plug and play. Probably will get more interceptions than Trevon Diggs, right? He'll probably shut down more people. Noah Igbenogany is going to save the Dallas Cowboys season, bro.
Yeah, I don't know about interceptions, but as long as he's playing on Sunday Night Football, Noah Igbenogany is going to be the ultimate producer, whether it's last year, the Pittsburgh Steelers game, the game-sealing interception, week 1 this year with the Cowboys. He returns that. It was a block kick, right? That he returned for a touchdown. Yeah. So he awesome. Performs when the lights are bright.
Yeah, right. Hey, listen. Unlike Dak Prescott, Noah Igbenogany is a clutch player, bro. Okay, he is.
Can he play quarterback?
I think Noah can do anything. He might be able to play a little quarterback. I think he's going to be high-stepping like Deion Sanders, returning interceptions this week. I think in honor of Deion and Colorado and all that, one of his sons tried it, and obviously Deion ripped his son apart because he wasn't high-stepping. See, Noah, once he'll be high-stepping, and he'll be, I'm telling you, that's That's a good point there. I forgot that they've got Noah. Although I got to tell you, the Dolphin Nation will lose their minds if Noah becomes a really good player over there.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, and then if the Cowboy and then what if that Cowboys Dolphins Super Bowl does happen and Noah Benogany is factoring in? Hey, even December 24th, the Cowboys are on the Dolphins regular season schedule.
I hope so. By the way, I hope he does great. He's a great young man.
He
deserves it. You know, if he was an asshole, then, you know, or let's say a dumbass like Preston Williams, who just, you know, it's just the light never went on. It just like it's dim the entire time. You know, then I don't have a lot of sympathy for people like that, you know, but I have a lot of sympathy and I root for Noah Igbinoghene because he's a fantastic young man who worked his ass off. It's not a natural position and it was going to be a tough transition. And the youngin just, you know, couldn't make the transition, but it wasn't for a lack of effort or character or anything like that, dude. The guy was a true pro and I give him credit for that.
I'll tell you, I loved what I was hearing from him this training camp, the way he was going about his business, the way mentally he had put behind everything of the past. He wasn't trying to live up to any expectations because he's a first-round pick, anything like that. He just said, I'm just working on my craft, focusing on it. I absolutely loved what I was hearing from him. So, and even I felt, hey, maybe he could step up once Jalen Ramsey went down. He was one of the guys competing, and in a new system, maybe the zone defense would be a little bit better for him. There was a scrimmage where he had an interception at Hard Rock Stadium. But ultimately, the Dolphins needed something else. They needed a guy who could play some special teams. Noah Benogany is not a special teamer. Kelvin Joseph can do that. So then that's a big part of where the trade originated.
Mikey pointed out in the chat, and I went to check it. What makes Dak's interceptions even better, he only played in 12 games.
Oh,
God. That's right, because he's always also injured, too. That's right. That's the other thing that Dak does. He does get injured a lot. So, yeah, that's wow, dude, that's right. Wow, 14 games. That's a great point. My Lord. All right. That's kind of interesting right there. All right. Overall, what are you expecting Armstead to play?
Yeah, I think we talked about a little in the postgame that this would be the ideal situation to just after he had 1 week of practice that then now you can get him into this game. So as long as he is not feeling any type of negative, not even setbacks, just not any cautious at all from his workload in practice this week, then I would say go for it. And then you get that one game under your belt before facing the Buffalo Bills. So I would really like to see him play. I love the job that Kendall Lamb has done protecting the quarterback on the left side. And Tua, of course, with his quick release, he's been helping himself keep himself clean. So it's all been working. The Dolphins have been great run blocking as well, even without Armstead, but will be much better and can run to that side a lot if once Armstead, his bulldozing run blocking abilities is there at left tackle.
Let's hope so. This kind of game is there. Where could Sean Payton do some damage against the Miami Dolphins? If you're looking at his team, offense or defense, where is it that you say, okay, the Dolphins better respect this, or this could hurt them? Is there something like that on that team right now that you're feeling that way?
Yeah, if offense or defense, well. Then if Jalen Waddle isn't out, then maybe that's something where they could say, all right, if Patrick Surtain can hold down Tyreek Hill, I can maybe count on the other guys to limit everything else going on. Then that's something. Other side of the ball, then the Broncos offense, well, if you could go back to the way the Dolphins stopped the run in week 1, but I think they fixed a lot of that. So they may try to go to the run early in the game, see where the Dolphins are at physicality-wise, just up front, if they're bringing that same intensity that they knew they had to correct from week 2, if they maybe just felt, all right, we got it all figured out against the Patriots and Ramondre Stevenson, now we can just chill on that side. Well, maybe test that early. That might be one thing I do. And, I love Jerry Jeudy as a receiver. Covered him when he was in high school at Deerfield Beach. So that's one thing, especially with Eli Apple. He didn't look too good just last week against the Patriots. So giving up catches to Devontae Parker, not making open field tackles, letting him get yards after catch. So
doing the things that Eli Apple has done throughout his career, pretty much.
Yeah.
To me, the problem with Eli has always been, and when they signed him, I said, maybe you can hide him a little bit in zone, But once he has to have man-on-man responsibilities, bro, you know, you're rolling the dice, and that's just the way it is, unfortunately. And I wonder if anybody else is going to get some playing time there while we wait for Cam, because I got to tell you, Bethel's made plays, right? Every time. The last 2 weeks here, Bethel's made a play or two. So you just wonder, do you start giving some of the other guys time? Crossan, is he still out?
He's on
he's on PUP, right?
I believe.
He's on IR.
Yeah.
So you start looking at some of the other options. Obviously, how far are we from Needham coming back full go? How far is he?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had an update of late, but he's at least going the first 4 weeks because he is starting on PUP. So
okay, so that's right. So we've got 2 more weeks to find out if Needham.
Minimum.
Because at least if Needham can come back, you can then put him inside and move Kohu outside and bench Eli. You know what I'm saying? So the question is, do you experiment with anybody else right now while you await Needham to get healthy, Crossan to come back? What do you do there? Do you stay with Eli? Because obviously Cam is not ready yet. He's healthy, but he's not ready yet.
Yeah, I mean, I like Justin Bethel in that dime position when the Dolphins go to that. And also you can kind of limit his workload because he's also a special teamer. So I think that would be a good snap distribution if you only bring him out in the dime packages. And he's really fresh when he does come out in those situations. We've even seen him on the blitz, like that game-sealing play against the Chargers. So, I mean, Cam Smith, I would love to see as well, just to see what you got in him. I mean, he's really stood out in camp. He made a bunch of plays. Every practice, he seemed to have a pass breakup. It's what you saw in the preseason game against the Jaguars. You never know if he might just blow a play, blow a coverage, and then you give up the ball. Yeah, which is one thing Eli Apple has not done yet is give up the deep touchdown. Granted, he's given up the underneath stuff and then not made a tackle and things like that. So, maybe eventually I want to just see what you have at this point in Cam Smith and see if he's ready to go out there. Even Vic Fangio or Ronaldo Hill today was saying that Cam Smith is listening in to Jalen Ramsey. He's always talking to him, sitting next to him in meetings. So I do like to see that at least for his progress. So at some point I'd like to see him in there if Eli Apple continues to struggle.
Yeah, that's kind of the interesting one there because I think most of us were not happy with Eli. Okay, now if you're McDaniel and you're again facing a 50-plus yard kick, what do you do? Do you punt? Do you go for it, depending on where you're at on the field? Because he is pretty aggressive on those 4th downs. So I'm just wondering, how many more times does he try this and say, well, I'll give him this 52-yarder, see if he's turned the corner. I'll give him a shot at this 55-yarder, see if he's turned the corner. It's kind of been known here for the last year and a half, the guy can't hit a 50-yarder. And so what do you do if you're in that situation from here on out? Because so far you haven't brought anybody in. So,
Yeah, I'll say low pressure situation. If it's early in the game, go ahead and give him a shot. Hopefully that gets some confidence back if he is able to convert one. Because although he did make that one to send him to the playoffs last year, it's got to be in his head. He says it's not, and he just kicks the ball the same way. But it's got to be a mental thing that you're aware, you're self-consciously aware of the numbers from 50 plus and how they do not correlate with everything you kick from within 50, aside from that extra point against the Chargers. So I think it depends on the situation. If it's a 4th and 1 or 2 in that area of the field, I really like going for it in those situations because you could potentially not gain much by punting, where if you end up kicking it into the end zone, it's just a net of like 17 or something maybe. And going for it isn't that much of a risk in that part of the field, where if you kick the field goal and then miss it, all for 3 points, you're potentially even giving them 7 or 8 more yards of field position by sending it back with the snap and then missing the field goal. So I would say the situation, if you're leading by a small amount late, or just within a score, same situation, then same down and distance, you might want to just punt in that situation, make it a longer entire field for the opponent to go. But if it's a situation where you are down 2 or down 3, and that's the spot that you get to, then yeah, you definitely got to just go for the field goal, go for the win or tie on Jason Sanders' foot, and then hope it goes well.
MRI, by the way, has confirmed Trevon Diggs has suffered a torn ACL. It's just not good for the league. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just about Dallas. It's not good. Any team losing stars, dude. It just sucks, brother. It just completely changes. And I feel terrible for Cowboys fans because obviously he's one of the more electrifying players, dude. He's like fun to watch. He's like one of the people you pay a ticket to go see. You know, you're like, you want to see what Trevon Diggs is going to do. He's kind of a player. What you got, Sean?
Because I was watching the chat, Antonio Nyborg, he's got a point here.
Okay.
If Cowboys DBs start dropping like Dolphins DBs did last year, it will convince me Noah is practicing voodoo.
Well, he was down here for a few years. He might have gotten to know a little Cuban lady in Hialeah and then know her tricks.
Some Santeria?
A little Santeria in Hialeah, you know? So you never know, bro. So that could be he you know, he had a lot of time on his hands. He wasn't playing a lot. So, you know, maybe he learned a little black magic. You know what I'm saying? So you never know.
Bringing the Cubanazo to the program.
Do you see any roosters or chickens over at his house in Dallas? And do you see one less one today? Okay, is the question. Was it un despojo going on there in Dallas? You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on. Anyway, all right. What do you got going on this Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out, my friend?
Yeah, just getting ready for game week here. Just planning on having the updates tomorrow with all the injuries we're looking forward to, or not looking forward to, but looking for updates on. And then it's right into Broncos game day. So seeing if this Dolphins team can get to 3-0. A lot of storylines this week with the connections. Vic Fangio, his former team, Butch Berry, offensive line coach, doing a great job here after he was fired, not doing so well over with the Broncos. And same as I know it didn't look too good when he was with UM either, but you got to give him credit. So
Chubb got sent away.
I just wrote about Chubb today, actually, so make sure you check that out. He's playing his best ball, it seems, going into this game against the Broncos. So that's it.
Sean Payton talking crap about Tua. I mean, there's a lot of motivating going on, you know, in this game. And I wonder if Sean backtracked right away going, you know, I might be up for that Miami job. Let me backtrack here because he might be my quarterback. Or, you know what, I may face him in the league. Let me backtrack or something. You know what I'm saying? Although there were a lot of people, you know, doing enough drugs to say that Teddy Bridgewater was at the level of Tua or going to take his job or as good or whatever. You weren't one of those maniacs, were you?
No, I never was. And I love Teddy as a Miami guy that, you know, and he tried to revitalize his career as a backup and under Drew Brees. So I felt he was one of the top backups when the Dolphins brought him in, where if Tua were to go down, then all right, you've got a solid guy that you could throw in there. But it didn't pan out that way once he did get on the field. And
his skills are eroding even faster than than I thought. When I saw him, I wasn't a big, I liked the guy, but I was never much of a big Teddy believer. I just never thought unfortunately, he had the brain. Fortunately, he had the brain. Unfortunately, the Lord did not give him enough skill set. And that was my problem with him. He never really had enough arm, and he never really had enough athleticism. And those are things that really hurt him from being actually a much better quarterback. Because of his brain, that's why he became a decent quarterback. You know, that's why he was able to overcome, because he's a smart guy. But he needed a little bit more talent, and that's what he always lacked. And then the injuries too, especially
especially.
Yeah, that injuries also took a toll. It's like Pennington. You walk into the league, you're not really that gifted, and then you start suffering injuries on top of all of that. It's not good. You know what I mean? It's just not good because, as you know, when you're around these athletes, all the injuries end up taking a toll on you one way or another. And then if they mount, as the injuries mount, bro, it starts to wipe you out as an athlete.
By the way, speaking of South Florida products, a lot of them on the Broncos making a homecoming in Miami Gardens today. When you got Patrick Surtain II, the receivers, Jerry Jeudy, and even Brandon Johnson, who is a son of Charles Johnson, former Marlins catcher. Yeah. Yeah, that was at American Heritage High down here. And Nick Bonito, edge rusher, who's got a sack this year, right? Yeah, he went to St. Thomas Aquinas. So
Okay.
a lot of guys, probably
There
even
you go.
missing one too. But yeah,
Yeah.
if only Patrick Surtain, the father, was still on the Dolphins staff, that would have been really cool.
Yeah, that actually would have been really cool. That definitely would have been cool. All right, follow him on Twitter at @DavidFuronis_. And more importantly, make sure you subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel and catch his work on a daily basis like I do. David, as always, thank you, my friend. Enjoy the game. We will talk in postgame.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The great David Furonis from the South Florida Sun Sentinel.
You've been listening to the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report with David Furonis from the Sun Sentinel. For additions, home remodeling, and custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDConstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
Don't forget, folks, to smash the hell out of the like button. Somebody's asking what is wrong with Bryce Young. He's got an ankle injury, and so he's out this week. Looks like it. I talked about this before. When you're a Bryce Young, when you're a Tua Tagovailoa, when you're a Drew Brees, when you're a Joe Montana, when you're a just those kind of quarterbacks, right? Smart guys that don't have cannons, right? They have a good enough arm to play in the league and do everything they need, but it's not a gift. So you got to work at it a little bit more. And so when you're short or when you're not a high-powered arm or things like that, okay, when you're tall, you don't have to worry about passing lanes nearly as much because you can see over everybody. When you're shorter, you got to worry about passing lanes. So you use the space in between your tackles and your guards and your centers as the way you see downfield. And then the play designs, right? You're able to then sometimes you know what the route is, and you know that when you have to move a little bit more to the right to catch that the entire route in between the passing lane of, let's say, the tackle and the guard, or the guard and the center, right? So it's a challenge for a shorter one. And then if you don't have the howitzer for an arm, right? You don't have that cannon. And, you know, some guys can stand there in the pocket and wait for the guy to break, and then he can throw it. And the guy only has 4 yards or 3 yards to go to get to the out of bounds, but you've got such a cannon, you can get it there before he gets out of bounds and all that. For anticipatory throwers, like a Greasy, like a Drew Brees, like a Tua, you're not waiting for the break. You need to throw it before the break. So you have to have anticipatory skills to place the ball right there where it needs to be. So then your adjustment at this level takes some time. Sometimes you'll do it right away, okay, which I think Tua came pretty close to it. It took him probably about a year. It probably took him. The rest of the help was the coaching and all that was terrible. Drew Brees, it took him 4 years. And Bryce Young, well, we don't know yet until we see him actually get comfortable back there. It's not an easy thing. You have to adjust to the game speed because it's faster than the one you were at in college. So you have to anticipate a little bit faster, and you have to do things a lot quicker, thinking quicker, deciphering quicker, and delivering the ball earlier than you normally did. Why? Because you're at another level now and everybody's faster. So there's an adjustment. And those kind of quarterbacks have to make that adjustment at this level. And it's an adjustment that the stronger arm quarterbacks don't necessarily have to make nearly as much. Now, if the stronger arm quarterback, as we've talked about, has no anticipatory skills, doesn't have great accuracy, doesn't really understand ball placement, which is something that Ryan Tannehill to this day still doesn't understand ball placement. He doesn't really understand that his job is to lead receivers on all routes, not make them stop, turn around, whatever, or end their careers like he did to a tight end who had to come back around for a ball. And that's where DJ Swearinger, eliminated his knee and eliminated his career because it was a terrible throw. You understand? So all of those things have to be figured out by the quarterbacks. Tall or short, strong-armed or not, doesn't matter. But when it comes to quarterbacks that aren't necessarily as gifted as others, they have another level that they have to clear, and that's the timing part of the game. And it's not an easy thing. And some of them never make it, and they just can't figure it out, and they just can't get the timing, and they go by the wayside like a lot of quarterbacks. And then they'll figure it out. It might take them a couple weeks. It might take them a year or 2 or 3, but they'll figure it out, you know. And Drew Brees is a really smart guy. It took him up until his 4th year when the light went on, when it finally went on. And then he's going to the Hall of Fame now, you know. So that's where I tell you, you know, and I don't know if that's what you were asking me about Bryce, but or you were just asking me what was his injury specifically. But I do want to explain that the things that some of these other quarterbacks go through, it's a little bit more of a challenge for them. And you have to commend them when they're able to figure it out. I mean, it's really impressive. Cosa Nostra says, let's not overlook the Broncos. That's a team we need to take care of with business with if we're going places. First of all, nobody's overlooking them because you and I don't play. So it doesn't really matter. I don't think the Dolphins are overlooking anything whatsoever. Okay? At all. And like I told you, I listened to Joe this morning. I went to go get some breakfast, and I got in the car, and I turned on Joe, and he said something interesting, that on the plane ride back, that the plane was super quiet. It was like a business trip. That he has seen, you know, them when the victories, and they're all celebrating and having fun and all that, and they weren't doing that. They were like, on to the next one, you know, that kind of stuff. So that is actually a really good sign, you know, overall. I think the 8-3 stuff, like I've mentioned with these guys now, I think the 8-3 woke them up. They were riding high last year, dude. And then the injuries just shocked them. And it, you know, completely changed their season. I think that was a huge wake-up call, and I think it's something that all of these guys can lean on. Like, hey, yo, guys, you know, everything was great last year. Tua can say, hey, everything was great for me, and then I got injured. So he knows that they have to take advantage of all of these games and bring it, man. Bring it. That's what they got to do. They got to bring it. And I think they will, man. I really do. Justin says, question, Big O, do you think Tua has Sean Payton's comments about him thinking Tua would be benched last year are on Tua's mind going into this Sunday? I think there'll be a little bit of, oh, so you think Teddy Bridgewater's at my level? Okay, let me show you that you don't know what you're talking about. Yes, I do think so. I don't think he'll talk about it. I don't think if you ask him, he'll mention it whatsoever. I think he'll even tell you, oh, I don't even remember that, you know? But there's no doubt he's keeping receipts. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Keep the chickens away from Noah. Maybe I'm in the minority, but I'm rooting for Jason Sanders. Everybody's rooting for Jason Sanders, Rosendo. Every Dolphin fan is rooting for him. Just because they don't trust him doesn't mean they don't root for him. It's two completely different things. Like some guy on Twitter, right? I tweet out the X story, he impregnated for, and I go, this guy's life is a mess. And then some guy tweets me back, why are you worried about his money? I'm like, bro, I said mess. What does mess and money have anything to do with it? What are you, stupid or something? You don't understand the English language or something? What the hell's wrong with you? People just they go crazy and they just jump to conclusions. Somebody stated he was out Sunday. I wasn't sure why. Oh, you're talking about, yes, the ankle. Yes. Big O score prediction this Sunday. I am going to say Dolphins 30, Broncos 13. I think they're going to kick their ass. Okay? That's what I think is going to happen. They're going to kick their ass. 30-13. We came, we conquered, we kicked ass. Gordon says, I haven't seen the doubt towards Bryce Young that Tua got, and he's shorter. Oh, dude, I made fun of that months ago. Oh, he's so intelligent, this, that, whatever. And they're not talking about his size or anything like that. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious how Bryce Young is completely looked at differently than Tua. It's weird, man. Yeah. Go listen to the stuff after the draft. It's really amazing. Steven says, it's crazy how last year the Dolphins were decimated by injuries, and now you blink and there's a new injury from a good player. I don't know. I don't wish injury on no one, but they're going to feel what we felt. Yeah. It sucks. It sucks. And let's hope that to me last year, as I told you guys, last year was all about bad luck. Nothing else. This was a really good team last year. It's a better team this year, but it was a good team last year, and it should have made some noise in the playoffs. And it was all injuries that derailed their entire season. Big O Patriots fans are by far the worst. I got middle fingers thrown at me at the game after some shirtless guy said he was going to kick my ass because I was wearing Aqua. Tyreek wasn't lying. Yeah. It's dude, there are idiots everywhere. And there's plenty of them at Dolphin Stadium too. Okay? Canes or Dolphins. We got our share of idiots also. So let's not get crazy. So I don't know what's the truth. Apparently the Dolphin fan didn't start the fight. Apparently the other guy started the fight, and apparently he had a medical condition too. So either way, fighting is not the thing to do, but I don't know what the real story is with what happened there. All I know is that guy, the Dolphin fan, that guy's got to be feeling like shit for the rest of his life. Because he hit a dude and then the dude died. That cannot be something good for your psyche for the rest of your life. It can't be. It's got to be tough, dude. Tough for him, tough for the family, all that stuff. And again, I don't know what's true or not. Because none of us really know the whole story, but apparently he didn't start it. Apparently it was the Patriot guy, supposedly, that was going after the Dolphin fan. And then the Dolphin fan defended himself, and then, God, it's terrible. Hey, how did the predictions go with wrestling last night? We're going to walk
exactly
on
how I
through
told you, buddy. Exactly
Electric Avenue.
1-1, buddy. 1-1.
Okay.
Samoa Joe lost.
Yep.
And then who's the other one was the first
Kendricks.
match? Claudio.
Kendricks.
No, Claudio.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was Claudio and
something Kendricks.
Kingston.
Yeah. Kingston, not Kendricks.
Yeah.
Kingston.
I think he took Kingston and Samoa Joe. And Kingston won.
Yeah, Kingston won. We
Samoa
were going
Joe
on
lost.
through Electric Avenue.
Yeah.
I retweeted that back to you. I
Oh,
retweeted a little Eddie Grant.
Yeah. Barry Jackson sends out a tweet.
Yes.
I guess about an hour ago now. CBS says it's sending its lead team, Nance and Romo, to Dolphins at Bills on October 1st. So it looks like that will go out to close to a full national telecast. Bills and Dolphins.
Romo brings nothing anymore to the table. Have you listened to the broadcast now with Romo?
Oh, he's phoned it in. He's just like, he got his recognition, and I was like,
No, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know the coaches anymore. He doesn't know exactly what they're doing, so he doesn't really.
Yeah, and then also they're changing up the schemes and things like
he
that.
can't give you the insight anymore that he was fresh off of reading all these people. And so now you listen to that broadcast, and it is terrible, dude. Terrible. Like, I know that they regret the contract now. Now they're regretting after being the golden boy. Now they can't stand his ass now. That's damn, dude. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Why don't we? And, of course, call our friends at 3A Graphics. 980 West 22nd Street in Hialeah. So if your company, your corporation, your fantasy team, your softball team, your whatever it is that you need some embroidery or custom printing, man, you call the folks at 3A Graphics, or you got a whole get together for your company and you want to come up with t-shirts for it. 3A Graphics, man, right here in South Florida. Call Alan Blanco, 786-251-3404. Last night, the Mutts, they took the series from the Marlins, winning 2 of 3 with an 8-3 win. Bell did hit a home run, his 21st, a solo shot. Yuri Perez, well, he gave up 2 earned runs in 3 innings, 3 hits, 2 Ks in the process. Marlins are still a half game behind the Cubs. They lost yesterday. The Cubs have that 3rd wild card spot, so they still got a shot. Tonight they're off. They take on the Braves on Friday. It's one hell of a series. The Brewers. They need to win in this series. It would be nice to sweep, but you got to at least take 2 of 3 from the Brewers. Inter Miami routed Toronto last night 4-0, even though Lionel Messi left the game in the 36th minute with a undisclosed injury, illness, whatever it is, or setback or whatever. Farias with a goal in the 48th minute. Robert Taylor, I'm thinking Queen's drummer. Robert Taylor scored in the 54th and 87th minute, and Kromaski scored in the 73rd minute. Calendar with another clean sheet and 2 saves. They're 5 points off from the final playoff spot with 6 games left. Sunday, they're in Orlando to take on Orlando City. Messi and Alba left the game due to injuries. Wednesday, they take on Houston for the U.S. Open Cup at Drive Pink Stadium at 8:30. I would imagine that's when Messi's going to play. He will not play on Sunday. I think, if anything, he'll play Wednesday for the U.S. Open Cup. Tonight, 8:15, a game that you really don't want to watch unless you're a Niners or a Giants fan. The frauds that are the Giants are visiting the 49ers, and the Niners are favored by 10.5 points. The over and under is 44. I'm not touching that game. 10.5 is a lot of points. Plus, who would trust the Giants at this point? Please. I mean, Daniel Jones has been a fraud from the get-go, and nothing's changed. They're idiots for giving him that contract. That, my friends, is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. What's surprising to me is Jets fans leave me alone, which is pretty cool, says Cam. Well, I mean, if you're a Dolphins fan, Jets fans have nothing to say to Dolphins fans. They kind of need to know their place. Isaiah says, Big O, what's your thoughts on the Barstool reporter who was discrediting Barry Jackson reporting on Heat and Damian Lillard's situation? I don't know anything about it. But here's what I would tell you. Who's credible at Barstool? Just saying. Who breaks stories at Barstool? I don't know Barstool breaking any stories. I don't know any reporters that I trust at Barstool breaking football or baseball or basketball or hockey stories. I don't know them as a news outlet. I know them as obviously a what's the word? Edgy talk show, edgy sports talk show. That I know them. They have a lot of fun. I actually sometimes laugh at some of their programming and have some fun with some of their programming. You know, whenever I've run into Barstool at times. I don't have a problem with Barstool. I like Barstool, but I don't look at them as a news source. So why would you? I don't know anything about Barstool breaking stories. I don't know anybody from Barstool that I would call an insider. I know Barry Jackson very well. And I know he knows his shit when it comes to sports down here in South Florida. I may disagree wholeheartedly with him when he talks about radio. That I've got plenty of bones to pick with him about that because he usually doesn't know most of the story. But when it comes to sports, I don't think I would be. Barry's not going to put anything out there that's not responsible. That's not Barry Jackson, bro. You know? So I would ask you, what do you know about Barstool being it's kind of like when you guys, send me something from some YouTuber or some fan and some tweet from some fan that thinks he's an insider or something. You know what I'm saying? And it's like none of those people ever break any stories or any news. They might guess, and once in a while they might guess right, but they're not breaking any news. And you can do the same thing those YouTubers do. Most of them, 99.9999% of those YouTubers have no insight whatsoever on anything whatsoever. And if they've ever gotten anything right, it's because they guessed that Dalvin Cook was going to sign or not because they had any insight whatsoever. So that's what I would tell you. And that's what I tell you all the time about all kinds of things that you guys bring up to me about breaking news. And then I ask you, okay, this person, why are you retweeting them? Do you know any news from them? No. Okay, then why would they get this right? So I don't know anything from Barstool whatsoever to be known as credible and breaking anything except wind. That's about it. Let's see. I fart on bar stools. Oh, it's a good thing to do. Karoon says, can we all just get along? LOL. Even the Terrell Owens and Stephen A thing is odd. Yeah, what is it? Stephen A and Terrell are fighting, and then somebody's in the middle trying to break it up or something or bring them together. I forgot who it was. Yeah, I think I saw that stuff. Oh, I was thinking of the kicker position and how they have few opportunities to perform. Do you think that this is a major component to kicker success? Their psychology? No. Well, their psychology, yes. But that's kind of what you have to do. You have to be ready. That's your game, and you're only going to get a couple of kickoffs and a couple shots at a field goal a game probably. And you've got to stay prepared. You've got plenty of kicking nets on the sidelines. And you're right, Dougie Fresh. The most important thing for a kicker is psychologically, because we all know, we've seen it, whether it's Uwe van Schamen, whether it's Olindo Mare, Parkey. What's the guy we had before Sanders? The other guy that we had for a little bit that he also lost his mojo. God, I forgot his name now. But we've seen kickers in the past that have been here and they were good kickers, and then all of a sudden they lose it. So mostly it is mental. Yes. Carpenter, Dan Carpenter, right? That's it. Dan Carpenter. Thank you. If I was the owner of the Bears, I would hire Brian Flores to turn it around like he did here. Running backs with the most evaded tackles this year: Christian McCaffrey, Tyler Algier, Raheem Mostert, Ramondre Stevenson, David Montgomery, Nick Chubb, James Conner, and Kenneth Walker. Kyrie Irving's trying to play peacemaker. Oh, that's it. It is Kyrie Irving. Yeah, crazy ass Kyrie. Yeah, Dan Carpenter. Thank you. Somebody threw in Garrow your premium. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Daniel Rincones. Thank you, sir. Sean Payton. Sean Payton is an ass. I'm with you. LOL. Thank you, sir. What happened now? What are you laughing about, bro? What happened? What's going on?
There's apparently, like you do the trade things with ESPN. I guess Mike Tannenbaum did one.
Oh God. Okay.
Well, I don't know. It's
Mike Tannenbaum. Okay, what did he do? What was his silly suggestion?
Hold on, I'm trying to make sure this is Tom Ernest. Is he?
Yeah, Tom Ernest. Yes,
he's good, right?
Yeah, he's Dolphins talk.
No, I know, but I'm just making sure because I don't want to.
No, Tom is a great dude, bro.
Because it looks like they took it off of a tracker. Mike Tannenbaum's offer. The Indianapolis Colts get 2024 second-round pick and safety Javon Holland. Miami gets Jonathan Taylor.
What a stupid mother effer, bro. I really want to say the whole word. I wouldn't trade Javon Holland for 3 Jonathan Taylors, bro. What an idiot. What a moron. He actually said that. A second rounder and Javon Holland for Jonathan Taylor. God, I'm so glad he wasn't here, bro. Jesus Christ, dude. I killed him from the get-go from when they hired him. I remember Channing Crowder, okay, love Channing, does an excellent job, but he's like trying to walk me. No, but let's get, maybe he's better here than, I'm like, Channing, get out of here, bro. What are you talking about, bro? That's Mike Tannenbaum. He's not going to be better here. He's not a football guy. He's a contract guy that wants to be a football guy. I warned everybody about it, but it's kind of, I play the game a little different, bro. I don't bullshit you, and that's why I laughed the other day when the guy from the media, I would love to say who it is, goes, "Oh, you've turned into such a Dolphins homer." And I was like, really, dude? Really? You're going to say that stupid shit to me? Did you say that when I said Joe Philbin wasn't going to do anything, or the aforementioned Mike Tannenbaum or something? Like, really, dude? Have you watched what I've done for 30 years? What I say, anything and everything, I say with a conviction, good or bad. But it's, oh no, I'm a homer now because I believe in the Dolphins. Give me a break, bro. No, and I don't believe in Mike Tannenbaum. Never believed in Mike Tannenbaum, and I knew the Dolphins weren't going anywhere with Mike Tannenbaum. And we had people that just, they want, well, give him a second chance, come in here. No, bro, I ain't giving no second chances. Joe Philbin got hired, and I said right away, he's going to be a failure here. And people were mad at me because I didn't give him a break. I don't want to give him a break. I have the same conviction about Tua. Okay? Same conviction. I'll tell you. I'll fight to the end that Tua can play ball. That Tua's a stud. You want to tell me you don't trust Tua's body? That's fine. Nobody probably felt that way when he got drafted. It's hard to feel like you trust him. It was a huge gamble to draft a guy that is injury prone like that. But don't tell me he has no arm and he can't play and all, that's stupid. So this guy, Mike Tannenbaum, Jesus Christ, a second rounder and Javon Holland for brother. Let me tell you something. I got to give you Javon Holland. You got to give me a first rounder and Jonathan Taylor. See, because this is why we had this disagreement, me and those of you that wanted Saquon and Jonathan Taylor and Dalvin Cook, because you put importance on them. I don't. I don't put importance anymore on running backs. Running backs are not important anymore. They're just a cog in the wheel, and that's it. But they're not the wheel. They're not the engine. They're not the gas, okay, or electricity, whatever kind of vehicle you're driving, okay? They're a piece of it, but not a big piece. And this is why I laughed at all of you that wanted Saquon and Jonathan Taylor and Dalvin Cook, and you wanted to pay all this money and more picks or whatever, because running backs are not important anymore. Just get decent ones, serviceable ones. Get yourself a quarterback and an offensive line, and all your running backs will be fine. All of them. They'll be fine. But Javon Holland for Jonathan Taylor, how stoned do you think I am? How drunk do you think I am? You think I'm at the Enterprise with Pookie having some crack? Is that what you think? That I'm going to give you, Jonathan? I'm going to give you Javon Holland and a second rounder for Jonathan. This is why that guy, I don't know why he's on ESPN. It's the most baffling thing to me in the world. But then again, Fox hires Urban Meyer. You know, what can I tell you? So ESPN hiring, Tannenbaum, I shouldn't be that surprised. If you really want Jonathan Taylor, you can wait until the end of the season and pick him up for nothing in free agency during the offseason. That's if they don't tag him and keep him there just to make his life miserable. Tannenbaum gives his clueless hot takes. Greer replies, I'll take things that will happen when hell freezes over for 800, Alex. Big O gives his wrestling takes with conviction, too. You damn right. You damn right. I wonder why Tannenbaum was, because he's not good, because he doesn't know football. I told you guys this story. A scout friend of mine got on a plane, and he's walking down the aisle, and he looks to his left, and he sees Mike Tannenbaum reading what's it called, a fantasy football magazine. Come on, man. What president, NFL executive is reading a fantasy football magazine? Come on, dude. Yeah, no, not the. And he's not a bad person, by the way. He's a nice man, Mike Tannenbaum. He's not a bad person. He's just a horrible executive, dude. A horrible football person. He has no business running your football team. Yes, sir.
No, Ferrone just shared the injury report.
All right, let's do it. What do we got?
Waddle and Ahmed did not practice.
Out.
Armstead.
Full practice.
Campbell. Raekwon Davis. Julian Hill.
Ooh. Julian Hill.
Tyler Croft. Jalen Phillips. Tyreek Hill. And Andrew Van Ginkel were limited.
Oh, they were all limited?
All limited. And Xavier Howard did not practice. I'm sorry. Removed from list. I'm sorry.
Oh, removed from list. Okay.
Hold on a minute. I went the wrong way.
Did he remove that?
Sorry. So Andrew Van Ginkel and Tyreek Hill were full. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the other ones were limited. I'm sorry. I looked at Wednesdays and I thought I scrolled to Thursday.
So. Okay. All right.
Yes, they were full.
I figured
anybody in the chat full for Tyreek.
Yeah, Tyreek's going to play. I'm not worried about Tyreek. I'm telling you, Waddle's out.
But everybody else.
That's my professional guess. Waddle is out.
So
and Ahmed is out too.
Yeah. I would think. Yeah.
They have enough backs. They have enough receivers.
Yeah, and then also, I think
the playoffs, right?
I honestly think what Safed said is what's going to happen. McDaniel's going to give Tua the football at the beginning and let him punish Peyton for all the words that he said, and they're going to jump out to a huge lead, and then they'll run Mostert and run the running backs and slow down the game. I just think it's going to be one of those things to where, and then also the heat. Denver's going to melt, and by the end they'll be able to start running the ball everywhere. And
that is true. Yeah. I think in the second half, Miami is going to wear them out. I have Miami winning big.
Yeah, I think you're going to see more of the first game offense at the beginning of this game.
We were given
Tyreek running everywhere and just
Vegas gave us a gift here the first 2 weeks with the Dolphins, because I've made a killing. Okay, and I'm winning again this year. I'm going to go 5-0 with the Dolphins in the first 3 weeks, because I'm going to take in the money line this week. But I took the money line the last 2 weeks, and I gave the points and took the points in the first 2 weeks. I took the points from the Chargers, and I gave the points to the Patriots, and I'm laying the. I already did, by the way. I already laid the 6.5, because I'm afraid that it'll go to 7.5 as time goes on, especially with Tyreek practicing today. I would not be surprised if it goes up 0.5 point just because of that. So I took it at 6.5 already. God, I think Monday we get the Hard Rock app. I think Monday we get it. Yeah, I think it's next week. We get it. So that's pretty cool. Looking forward to that. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? X-Men. News is, it has nothing to do with football. It has to do with his personal life. And clearly, when it comes to X, he's a disaster when it comes to his personal life. He has been involved in domestic issues and all kinds of different sexual issues. He was even accused of giving somebody, what's it called, a STD, but that was proven wrong, and that person lied. So that was cool for him. But what's been reported now from out there, Miami Dolphins cornerback Xavier Howard has more drama in his life as Instagram model claims he has 4 women pregnant simultaneously. Calling herself Ty the 5-footer, the adult content creator took to Instagram to air out Howard's replete with screenshots of their text conversations and DMs along with correspondence with one of the mothers of the other children. I am Xavier Howard. Let's clear the air because this man obviously has a fetish in getting women pregnant, she posted on her Tap In with Ty IG page. And now I have his other baby mamas reaching out to me. I ended up getting pregnant after being with X a few times. He told me he wanted to have a baby with me, and regardless of what he said, I still took a plan B. It clearly failed because I was around ovulation. Whatever. I own up to my actions, and I accept the fact that I'm having a baby and I can take X's money. I'm sorry, I added that part at the end. He was mad at first. Then we ended up meeting at his house during the first week of September. It was until he asked me how much should he give me monthly during my pregnancy, and I responded. That caught an attitude, and he ghosted me. I had an ultrasound and sent him the pics, as you can see in the screenshot, and there, all this was unraveled. And then it has, the DMs and everything going back and forth, with her. And so it's just it's a mess. It's a mess. You can go check it out yourself. And again, I give him credit because he's still playing, But here's the thing that I got to tell you, okay? And this is why I always say there's something always with X. And I've told he's going to be released this offseason. So this will be the last year that they and I believe with all this other stuff that's gone on, I don't think they'll bring him back anymore. Even if he balls out this year, I kind of feel like they're kind of at a point where enough's enough already. You know what I'm saying? But you look at this situation with this guy, and this is the only reason why I say, when he's constantly holding out for money, it hasn't happened the last couple of years because he got his money. But if you have a whole bunch of legal issues, if you keep adding more baby mamas, this guy is going to be broke. If this is true and he has all these kids, by the time you're done paying your taxes, which they take 40%, then your agent takes another 2%, right? Or 3%. And then after that, you've got all your bills and all these baby mamas. And you think that you're paying these baby mamas, $1,000 a month? No. You're paying these baby mamas thousands a month. And we're talking thousands. Like maybe in the 10, 15, 20 range. Obviously you and I never needed that kind of money to grow up, but apparently all these baby mamas, their kids live some extravagant lifestyles, and they all end up paying big time money to these women. So it just puts more pressure on you as a human being, right? Because we all work, men or women. We're constantly working every week, every month, and we know the bills we have to pay at the end of the month. It's on our minds, right? That doesn't change. It doesn't change for X or anybody else. And if you got all these baby mamas and you're going to have all these court cases and you're going to have all these settlements and you're going to have to pay all these lawyers and you're going to have to pay all this, child support, that dude's going to be so broke when it's all said and done. Okay. If this is true, if he does have multiple women pregnant and he's not going to stop, obviously, and he continues to have issues, he also doesn't go out with women that like you know, let's just call it like it is, you know. So you're going out with people that are going to bring you some trouble. Makes zero sense. Xavier Howard. Always something with him. Always something. What do you got?
Do you want to laugh?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I always love a laugh.
So we know we've talked about Trevon Diggs' season-ending ACL injury, right? So the plan, I'm told, in light of the Trevon Diggs injury, is to move Deron Bland outside, Jordan Lewis goes inside, and you got Noah Igbenogany for depth for a team source. So the Cowboys' big move is Noah.
Noah, he's going to save the season. He's saving the season.
You know what? I honestly, in a way, deep down inside me, I hope that really does happen. Like, get him to the Super Bowl and let the Dolphins run all over him. But play good up till then, Noah. Make it happen.
Dougie Fresh, just admit it. Tannenbaum looks like a white George Santos. Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. Oh, God. And the Bobert stuff this last week has been that's been a lot of fun. I got to tell you. That's been a lot of fun to follow. Let's see. More opportunities for Easy and Craycraft, possibly alongside Barrios and Tyreek. Yes, sir. Tannenbaum is a complete clown, says Ronald. ESPN is wasting money on his contract for stupidity like that. Brett says Holland and a second rounder for Taylor is ludicrous. It should be Holland and a first rounder. LOL. I wouldn't trade Holland for Jonathan Taylor at all. Am I wrong here? Like there's 179 people right now on the chat board. Okay? Would you trade straight up Jonathan Taylor for Javon Holland? Would you do that straight up? Knowing now what you know, okay? Because some of you are, kind of crazy. You don't think you have running backs and you don't think you have an offensive line. And I tried to walk you off the ledge and tell you, no, this offensive line is all right. And they got plenty of running game. So how many of you just straight up would trade Javon Holland for Jonathan Taylor? Hell nah, no trade, no way, absolutely not. Nope. That's a negative for me. It's interesting because there was this incredible love affair for Jonathan Taylor. And look, Tony Zag says Lauren Boebert can get it, though. That I guarantee you that's why she got elected. Because men are idiots. We all are idiots. And they probably voted for her over whoever was her opponent. And they said, oh, let's vote for the hot woman or whatever. And she's not really hot, but I get it. Compared to what you see in DC, yeah, she's Miss America compared to what you see there in DC. You look at Marjorie Taylor Greene and then you look at Lauren Boebert. Yeah, there's a huge difference there, of course. But that story is classic, bro. I wasn't vaping. It's a film of her vaping. She's feeling up her date. Date's feeling her up right in the middle of a Beetlejuice play. God. Oh, man. You two aren't in a drive-in where at least you're in your car and, all right, stuff goes on in cars and drive-ins. That's normal. They're in the middle of a damn kids play. And it's crazy, man. Crazy stuff. My agent, Antonio Brown, said Jonathan Taylor. Javon too natural. Ain't going nowhere. No, but I thought you said offense wins chips. They do. You just don't need that part of the offense. Rosendo. Rosendo, come on, bro. You're bright enough not to throw that out there, bro. Seriously. As I've said over and over again, they don't need a running game. They have a running game. In fact, Mostert has done better than Jonathan Taylor and Dalvin Cook and Saquon Barkley. So, yes, I'd rather, in my eyes, okay, it's more valuable for Miami to keep the safety than have another running back. That's the point, my brother. Not defense or offense wins championships or any silliness like that. Ball hawk for ball hog. No thanks. Hell no trade, says Dan. I wouldn't trade Holland for anything. Well, I don't know about anything, but I'm certainly not trading Holland for a running back. That would be as stupid as it gets. Trade Adebayo. We need no freaking running back, man. Bober thinks that soy milk is Spanish for I am milk. Soy milk. You do get that one, right? Okay, all right, because you are married to a Latin woman. That's why I'm saying. You know what the word soy means. Okay. That's right. I've been solid since last year saying we don't need anyone here. We're fine with the team. We have injuries was our Achilles heel. Damn right. Damn right. It was injuries. But think about that, bro. Javon Holland for Jonathan Taylor. Like, I would put it this way. If they, and a second round. If they made that trade, I would storm to the facility and raise hell, bro. I would lose my mind if they made that because all I've done is defend the front office. And now you're going to go trade Javon Holland a second rounder for a running back? But I can't defend it anymore.
But for you, in the defense here in this whole story, you're defending Chris Greer's front office.
Yes.
Not Mike Tannenbaum's front office.
No. Chris Greer's yeah. But if Chris Greer would do that
trade, I misunderstood. I thought you said Mike Tannenbaum was back in the front office.
I can't defend Chris Greer anymore if he would do that trade. I would yo, dude, what happened to you?
Okay.
You got stupid on me all of a sudden. You've been like genius, and all of a sudden you got dumb on me? A Holland and a second rounder for Jonathan Taylor? You know who I want to meet? The idiot fan that agrees with him. That's the guy that I want to meet, so I can slice his ass apart too. Oh man. Is Bobert hot? I mean, if you struggle to get laid, yeah, sure. If you're a guy that gets it on the normal, she's aight. That's kind of the way I would put it. Not ugly. She's all right. Nothing out of this world. So for you desperate guys, you're probably not kicking her out of your bed. Put it that way. So I would not go hot. I don't know. Is there a hot senator or congresswoman? Is there a hot one? There's got to be one, right? I don't know all of them. But there has to be one that's hot. It's got to be one. It's got to be one. Somebody's got to. There has to be a congressman, a senator, governor, somebody that is hot. Hey, listen, I'm not going to go completely hot, but I'll say Tulsi, the one from Hawaii, what's her name? The one with the blonde streak? She's a good-looking woman, man. Gabbard, right? Tulsi Gabbard. I think she's kind of good looking. See, Drew agrees with me on Tulsi. That's one I can remember that Tulsi's kind of hot. I'm not going to go like smoke show or whatever, but she's a good looking woman, I would say. What?
Lauren Boebert wins Hottest Woman in Congress award.
Okay.
It's from a conservative talk show, but she won it.
I would say Tulsi's hotter than her. Okay. I would say Tulsi. That would be the one. Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota, is hot. Look it up. Kristi Noem. Kristi with an I at the end, not a Y, and a K. And Noem is Noem. Governor of South Dakota. The suggestion from Tannenbaum shows his level of incompetence as a GM. I'm so glad we're far removed from that era. I so am I, but I'm still damaged by Channing Crowder trying to tell me, no, let's give him a chance. I'm still damaged by that. Years later, I'm looking at Channing like, really? Oh, she's a good-looking woman, man. I don't know about hot. Hot is hot, good-looking woman. But I think Tulsi's actually better looking.
Maybe whoever plays her in her documentary.
Tulsi isn't serving anymore. She's not the governor anymore, right? She was governor or senator in Hawaii or something. Oh, so her term is done. I did not know that. Okay, so she doesn't count anymore. It's a shame. Dan B agrees that Tulsi is hotter than Boebert. I think most of us that have decent taste, we would say that about Tulsi over Boebert. There's no doubt. Boebert is only hot with beer goggles. I find Tulsi kind of hot. Right. She's like kind of she's probably the best one out of the group. I bet Rosendo would do that trade if you asked him. Says True Fin Fan. I think Rosendo's kind of learned his lesson by now. Okay. New Jersey Fin Fan just tuned in. Waddle did not practice. He's not playing on Sunday, bro. Okay. That's not breaking news. I'm not telling you for a fact or anything like that. I'm just telling you what I feel is going to happen on Sunday. Waddle's not playing. Okay. They will hold him out. They will take the precautionary road. I've talked about that all throughout the show. Okay. I don't think he plays, unfortunately. But they win anyways, and they kick their ass. The Alaska lady was hot. Oh, yes, she was. She was. I kind of find her hot, too, back in the day. What's her name? Kind of a dummy, but she was kind of hot. She has that executive glasses look. What's her name? She's got the light eyes. You're right. She was the governor of Alaska. If I remember correct. What's her name now, man? Forgot. But yeah, that's it. Sarah Palin. That's it. I remember they made a porn. They made a porn of a woman that looked like her, and then they called it Nailin' Palin. But I will say this. Back in the day when she first came onto the scene, okay, pun intended, Sarah Palin was hot. Yes, I would have to say that Sarah Palin was a good-looking woman. Yes, I got to say. Yeah, AOC is actually, wouldn't trust her for voting or anything like that, but she's a decent-looking girl. Yeah. Tina Fey. There you go. Now we're talking. She's the one that played. Yeah, in Saturday Night Live, she was playing Sarah Palin. Yes, exactly. Yes, and she would do a good job. Yeah, her voice was annoying. Yes, yeah, but we're not talking about the voice. We're talking about the looks. I got to give the whoever brought up Sarah Palin is right. She was a good-looking woman, man. You got to give her credit, bro. Good-looking woman.
When you brought up Barry Jackson, it made me remember. I wanted to ask you something because this week, this Sunday, it's Orlando City against Miami.
Mm-hmm.
It's on FS1. The first time, like the English audience would be able. It was not on MLS. It's on.
Oh, because that's Orlando's
FS1.
Because that's Orlando's channel.
Yeah, okay.
That's right.
But now Messi's out,
what it is.
which we think he's going to be out anyways.
For
but
sure,
it's funny now that when you look at everything because the actual game is on CBS Sports, the U.S. Open Cup final will be on CBS Sports, so you will actually have a chance to watch it. But the game when we were talking about MLS, and I forgot who you're talking. Was it with Michelle Kaufman? You guys were kind of talking back and forth, and one of you threw out about how much influence Apple might have on the decision because of all the
yes,
you know, and then missing the FS1 game, and then hopefully he's playing in the CBS Sports game. But
let's hope so.
Yeah,
let's hope so. He's not going to play on Sunday, but let's hope he can line up on Wednesday, and win the U.S. Open Cup. Man, that would be so cool.
And then going back through, I guess the comment that kind of stirred everything up was that even if Dame Lillard is traded to another team, Barry Jackson kind of spoke that.
Oh yeah.
The Heat could still get a trade from that other team. Dame Lillard would still look for a trade.
And somebody reported that Dame Lillard will still ask to be traded to the Miami Heat if you trade him to somewhere else.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. That's what was Barry.
Oh,
I guess
that
Barry
was Barry's
had said
report.
that.
Okay,
or I'm not sure if he quoted somebody as saying it, but in the report,
right?
Because I was following everything down, and they're saying that's
this story is so full of shit. Okay, there is no other team. There's nobody else interested in him. Nobody else is trading for him, and there's only less than 5 teams that could trade and add a $300 million player who's 33 years old, dude, or 32, whatever. Either way, nobody's doing that, dude. It's only a couple of teams that say we're that guy away from a title. So we're going to do it, and hopefully we win the title and we can deal with the, it's what the Panthers owners did with Bobrovsky. They basically thought they were a goalie away at that moment because they had a high-powered team, but they didn't really have a great defense. But they thought that the goaltender would change everything. And so they knew they were overpaying for the Russian. They knew they were overpaying, bro, everybody in that front office. I know this for a fact, okay? For a fact, they knew they were getting fleeced. Ownership, front office, they knew that Bob was not worth this money. But they truly felt that they were a Bob away from the title. And they said, man, if we win the title, we can live with the rest of his salary or whatever. We don't care. And that'll be the same thing in this case. Only people that are going to trade for Damian Lillard are only a couple of teams that literally have the cap space and are one Damian Lillard away from a title. And I don't even know if it's a handful. It might be 1 or 2 other teams outside of Miami if you start looking around. And those teams aren't going to trade for Damian Lillard. Why? Because they've already made it crystal clear where they want to go. And by the way, here's the other thing that people don't talk about, because a writer can't really write about this because it's really not a concrete fact, but it's an existing known. How about that? Let's put it that way. Not a concrete fact, but an existing known. You know what's known? That the Miami Heat are a great organization. They know how to build a winner, and they know how to build a champion. So if the guy's locked in to go to Miami, brother, and you're Charlotte, or you're the Magic, or you're the Pistons, and you're going to try to convince him or you're the Knicks, or you're going to try to convince him and his agent that you're the right place, they're going to laugh at you in every way, shape, or form. And they're going to say, please, dude, you're Charlotte. You're the Knicks. You're the Nets. You don't do anything right. You people never win. You're the Magic. Why would I want to go to that organization? I am not going to that organization. So if you want to trade for me and pay me $300 million, you go ahead and do that. And by the way, I say 300 because it's 216, but it's going to take you over the tax. So you're probably going to end up paying $300 million when it's all said and done. That's why this whole story, Woj is a liar. He's taking bullets for the Portland people. He's probably taking bullets for, I don't know, other people around the league or something, but definitely for information. And he is spewing misinformation just so he can get information. And that happens to all of these insiders. A lot of times, sometimes they have to report stuff that isn't necessarily accurate, but they're doing an agent a favor, they're doing a team a favor, they're doing a general manager a favor, and they'll take the hit. They'll take the negative publicity. They'll take the wrong story, but then they'll give them 10 other right stories. So that's what Woj is doing now. He's taking some hits, so later on they can keep giving him the scoops. That's the way this game is played. I wanted to play this game early on, and when they approached me with those kind of things, I said, no, not doing that. I'm not helping you to drum up interest from another team by inventing that there's interest in your player from somebody else. I'm not doing that. So this is the way it goes. That's the way this business is played. Nobody is trading for Damian Lillard. It's all a lie because Damian Lillard's agent already ended that shit months ago by telling everybody, don't waste your time. We are only going to one place and one place only. And Damian Lillard and Bam Adebayo are as tight as it gets around the league. Okay? Yeah. So those two guys want to play. That's why Bam will never be included in that. Not that you should. Bam is the guy you want around the 3 stars. That's what you want. You know, if you get 2 or 3 stars, you need a guy like Bam around those guys. It's perfect for those guys. So there you go. But that Damian Lillard trade will happen. It's just a matter of time. And he's coming here. There'll be nowhere else to go. When sports and business collide, oh, baby, we like doing something called the KSDT CPA Sports Business Report. All right. So, Fox's $1 billion stewardship of WWE's Friday Night SmackDown franchise is coming to an end. NBC Universal has signed a 5-year deal for the package beginning in 2024. Financial terms not disclosed, but the deal will return SmackDown to USA Network, where it aired from January of 2016 until Fox's tenure kicked in 19 on October 4th. As the linchpin of Fox's Friday primetime lineup, SmackDown has performed every other Friday night program in all important sales demo per Nielsen. The 2-hour showcase is averaging 785,000 households, man, between 18 and 49, making it the 14th highest rated entertainment series on TV in 2022 and 2023. That's overall, not on Friday night, not on that time slot, overall. With a handful of episodes left before SmackDown transitions into its 5th season on Fox, the show's demo deliveries are up 14% versus a year ago, good for an average gain of nearly 100,000 viewers under 50 per airing. That demo growth comes as overall TV usage has dropped 10%. Okay? And as one of the most widely distributed channels on the cable dial, USA reaches 72.3 million U.S. households and only about 17 million shy of Fox's broadcast reach. In a bid to ensure that SmackDown continues to put up network-grade deliveries, WWE will produce 4 primetime specials each year that will air on the NBC flagship. The SmackDown Shift reunites the property with the USA stalwart, WWE Raw, which has dominated Monday night cable landscape for decades, as well as Tuesday night's developmental offshoot, WWE NXT, bringing SmackDown back into the NBCU fold, which allows for the sort of heightened cross-promotion that isn't feasible when ownership is shared by 2 rival programmers. So there you go. How about that? Finding a new home. You like that move? Doesn't matter to you?
No, it's fine. It's just the ratings are going to take a hit a little bit. They're averaging like 2.3, 2.5 right now. That's going to drop because you're not going to do as many households.
Yes, you are correct, but I'm wondering how much the streaming will help, because nowadays you're not watching. Well, in their case, you do watch that live. Actually, a lot of people watch it live. But I'm wondering
Hulu has it the next day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if maybe that stuff will make up for it. The people like the people you lose on Fox that maybe may not have USA, but they can still catch it on Hulu after.
Yeah, maybe. But then also the other thing is, I know they said it's going to combine them back together, but there's a lot of reports out that NBC Universal is not going to be able to keep Raw and NXT with SmackDown. Okay. So, and there's already talk that Raw might be going to Amazon and or Disney Plus, believe it or not. So I'm not sure, but or how that's going to work out. So those negotiations are just heating up as well because they're the year after. So SmackDown was for this year because their contract ends in 2024. So theirs would be they just started the negotiations now, but right now Amazon and Disney Plus and one other streamer who I can't remember exactly who it was, but they're right now in the negotiation process. Oh, of course, NBC Universal is still in it as well, but we'll see how much. I mean, if they get SmackDown, that's probably they'll drop one of the two.
All right, that is your KSDT CPA Sports Business Report.
This has been the KSDT Sports Business Report. KSDT CPA is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax and accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit online at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
All right, let's do a little music and entertainment. Let's go with birthdays today. Let's start off with Jason Derulo, the man that puts Jason Derulo in every song. He is 34. Stephen King, the novelist, is 76. The jerk, Liam Gallagher from Oasis, is 51. God, that guy's such a king-size asshole. Let's see, Bill Murray, actor, comedian, whatever you want to call him. 73 years old. Nicole Richie, reality star, is 42. Alfonso Ribeiro, do the what's that dance of his? The whatever dance. He is 52 years old. Dave Coulier, 64 years old from Full House. Faith Hill, she is 56 years old. Movie actor Ryan Guzman is 36. I have no idea who this guy is. Some guy named Tom McDonald, a rapper. He's 35. Never heard of him in my life. Let's see. Henry Gallagher, pop singer, is 21. Scott Evans, TV actor, is 40. Billy Porter, actor, 54. Wale, rapper, 39. Joe Mazzello, actor, 40. Luke Wilson, actor, 52. And that's it. That's it. Carlton Dance. Thank you. I looked at the chat board now. I go, somebody will get it. Yeah, it's a Carlton Dance. Yes, I forgot. And then let's go into a little music history. First of all, we start off in 1999 on this day. David Bowie released his album Hours for download in its entirety on his website, becoming the first rock star to do so. 1999. How about that? In 99 on this date, Hole bassist Melissa Auf der Maar left the band to pursue a solo career, but instead joined the Smashing Pumpkins. In 85 on this date, Dire Straits began a 3-week run at the top of the singles charts with Money for Nothing and Your Chicks for Free. In 61 on this date, 21-year-old singer-songwriter Bob Dylan recorded his debut album in one day. The studio bill was $400. In 2000, a year after their last reunion, Genesis, Phil Collins, Mike Rutherford, and Tony Banks reunited again to perform a one-off at the British Music Rock of Honor in London. In 99 on this date, Nine Inch Nails scored their first #1 album with The Fragile. It debuted at the top of the Billboard 200. In 83 on this date, Radiohead released their debut single, Creep. It didn't chart. In 2000, U2 singer Bono appeared on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. in an effort to get lawmakers to agree to his debt relief plan for third world countries. And that, my friends, is what happened today in music history. How about Rick Ross? How about Rick Ross, dude? Give that man some love. I know that we were having some fun at his own expense when he busted up his knee on that trampoline. Did you see that thing? Poor guy. But on Tuesday, Rick Ross did something super cool. The rapper and entrepreneur showed up at both Miami Norland Senior High School and his alma mater of Miami Carroll City to give away over $200,000 worth of clothing and school supplies to the students. And Rosé, by the way, teamed up with Councilman Reggie Leon and owners of THRT Denim, Manny Garcia, and Greg Morales to help empower the kids and provide them with essential resources in the beginning of the academic year. They also donated $4,000 checks to both schools' band programs. Growing up in Miami and me being a self-made entrepreneur, the most thing is staying in touch with the kids, letting them know that you can dream big and you can touch it. Ross is always down to help any community, especially in places he has personal ties to. At the beginning of the Maybach Music Group, founder wanted to keep the local health clinic open by donating $30,000 to prevent it from closing its doors for good. Rosé visited Fayetteville Care Clinic and brought up the huge check of $30,000 with him. Good dude, man. Good stuff. Ricky Rosé. Good for him, man. Doing some stuff here. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, what isn't awesome, although the result was awesome, was Jen Werner. And for those of you that don't know, Jen Werner was part of the board of directors of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They just voted to kick him out. It took about 20 minutes. Why? Because Werner claimed that female and black artists were not worthy of being interviewed for his book. He says, as women, just none of them are articulate enough or intellectual level. You know, just found for public relations sake, maybe I should have gone. Wait a minute. Now this thing froze up on me. There we go. I should have gone and found one black and one woman artist to include here that didn't measure up to the same historical standard, just to avert this kind of criticism, which I get it. I had a chance to do it. Maybe I'm old-fashioned. I don't give a crap or whatever. So after his racist-ass remark, you know what I mean? By the way, there are plenty of musicians that they might be illiterate. Might be some great football players or baseball players that might be illiterate too. I don't know if you know that. I doubt there's a teacher that's illiterate because they had to go to school. But there's a lot of people walking around that aren't very, there might be some really successful people that might not necessarily, you know, have the kind of intelligence that you think they would have, but they have a knack for what they do. It's funny because Zach Thomas used to say all the time, I think he even said it in the Hall of Fame speech, where like he used to say, I'm no rocket scientist or something like that, right? But he was a genius in football. And sometimes some people, they may not be the brightest person. They may not know about investments. They may not know about medicine. They may not know about some things in life, but they happen to be great salespeople. They happen to be a great mechanic. They happen to be a great athlete. You know, and sometimes what we have to do as human beings is actually admire the people. And that's where this asshole actually lost it, because the amazing part is the person that doesn't have the education, that didn't have all the opportunities, that didn't get it handed to them, and yet somehow they found a way to be successful, incredibly successful. And there's a lot of people like that. Not all of us are smart. I know I'm not. I might be too dumb for his book too. But it's, it's just, it's disgusting. And then if you think like that, then how did you vote? Did you hold it against somebody because you thought they weren't that bright? But yet, if they're making music that's Hall of Fame worthy, they've got to be geniuses in their own right. And that's the part that just went right over his head. You're considering this person for the Rock Hall of Fame. Who cares if they don't know about politics or engineering or how to change oil or change a tire or something? Who cares? You know what I mean? But when you have that kind of hate in your heart, like that guy, then they had to kick him out. But people like that exist all over the place. They just stay quiet. The thing that's been as of late, as of the last several years here, people are more open to discussing their hate or their biases. And that's where you get this now, because there seems to be some kind of a freedom to spew your hate nowadays. Don't know why, but what are you going to do? Let's see. 15 years ago today, the Miami Dolphins unveiled the Wildcat. Yeah. Let's see. They started their own podcast, not on Big O anymore. Who's that? Who started their own podcast? I don't know what you guys are talking about. Huh? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Alan, yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, did you see the robots of the Finns Chargers game? Do you think they were real? No, I did not see them. I don't know what you're talking about. Big O, you're missing out on Tom McDonald, some incredible conservative rap. I've seen it. I've seen the redhead guy with the guitar. I've seen it. Yeah, I kind of find him annoying, to be quite honest. So like I heard him sing for a couple minutes and I was like, yeah, I've heard enough. I'm out of here. Not the words. It's just the way he sounds. Just didn't like it. So turned it off. For a moment, Big O, you talk like Booker T. Washington, the great teacher. I don't know how he sounds. So it seems that he isn't that bright either, right? What a racist. Right. No, he definitely isn't bright, because he's that ignorant to use your hate to view somebody. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. You know how many people that don't have a great education are phenomenal musicians? Tons. They sing rock and they sing R&B and they sing country and they sing all kinds of different genres of music. And there's a lot of people like that their education was music. Since they picked up an instrument when they were a kid, that's what they wanted to be, and they didn't care about anything else. You think they really picked up an education on a lot of things? Probably not. But they'll smoke your ass when it comes to music. So, I mean, we all try to find our niche in life. That's what we're all trying to do when we're born into this world. And for that guy to hold it against people that you're considering for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and you're worried about what kind of education they may have, and you're going to hold it against them because of the color of their skin. And meanwhile, you probably put in a lot of white people that were also just as dumb, and yet it shows you're just racist because you're just looking at the color. It's a shame, bro. It's a shame. Big O music question. Did you ever listen or get into Uriah Heep? Yes, I love Uriah Heep. Actually, I saw Uriah Heep years ago in the 80s, and then I saw them recently when I had Mitch Box, I think is his name, right? The lead guy. I had him on my show also. I saw them open up for Judas Priest at the Hard Rock. And can you look up lead singer for Uriah Heep? Lead singer, a guitarist. I want to say it's like Mitch Box. I want to say is the guy's name. Uriah is Uriah, and then Heep, Heep. David Byron? What are really? David Byrne? Byron? What does it say? What does it say like members of the band? Mick Box. Mick Box. Okay, so Mick Box is the guitarist. That's what I told you. I had Mick Box on. I had Mick Box on my show from Uriah Heep. But again, that wasn't like the original Uriah. The one I saw back in the 80s, yes. But yes, I do like Uriah Heep. Huh? Bernie Shaw. Since 86? Okay. Yeah. Are you planning to be on Walk on Sunday? Yes, sir. Of course. We're going to be. Yes. The billboard's there, bro. It's a billboard. It's right there. It's right around us. Yeah. We'll be there, bro. We'll be there. You better be there. I know True Fin Fan will be there. He's the best. Dan B. Oh, just look at Johnny Depp. He never finished school. Just one example. Actors play the crap out of the guitar. And by the way, there's a lot of actors that are dumb. A lot of them that didn't go to school. A lot of baseball players that they're not very smart. So what? They know how to play baseball and they make a lot of money. Who gives a shit, dude? Listen, if you didn't want to go get an education, but you still made it, God bless you, bro. It's good for you. Even better, you didn't have to go to college. And you made it. You made it as a businessman, as a singer, as an entrepreneur, whatever. There's a lot of successful people that aren't necessarily the brightest bulbs in the chandelier. It's the most ridiculous thing out there. You know, to hold it against any of us, that's just sad, man. And I'm glad that they kicked that guy's ass right out of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in voting. What a dirtbag, dude. Brett Campbell says, Big O, the Gink situation is a good one, but bigger need is an inside linebacker. Rotate him in the third down package to pass rush, but we need Long to step up so Gink can rush more. Curious about your thoughts. I love it, bro. You got to get the Ginkster has to be out there. Listen, dude, you're a longtime listener of this program. You know I'm all over AVG. I've been a big AVG supporter from the get-go, and I'm glad that he's getting the playing time. You got to get him out there. He played like a werewolf this past week. And you are 1,000% right. The biggest need is a middle linebacker, a thumper. And they don't have that, and they've got to draft that next year. Next year, they've got to find a linebacker in the draft somehow. If one thing I want you to do next year is draft an offensive lineman, because I want you to draft an offensive lineman every year, and I need you to go get me a middle linebacker next year, for sure. Vic needs it. He needs a badass middle linebacker, bro. Need it big time. So, yes, you are 1,000% right, Brett. Eddie says, I think I'll be at walk-ons, I'll be in Miami for the weekend with my girls. If we can get tickets to the game, if we can get tickets to the game, we'll be at walk-ons. All right. Come on over, man. Depp is from Miramar. Jennifer Lawrence is a high school dropout. Exactly. Lots of us, okay? There's a lot of human beings in this world. They didn't need college to be successful, okay? No shot at anybody that went to college and no shot at anybody that didn't go to college. You know, are you working? Great. Are you doing your best for yourself and your family? Fantastic. Measuring IQs is ridiculous. Anyway, we're out of here. We thank David Furones and Safid Dean. Tomorrow we'll be at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. So come on by and say hi. If you want to pass by Pembroke Pines, we'll be there tomorrow having some fun. Sunday, we are at Walk-Ons in Kendall. All All right. So it's on Kendall Drive and 162nd. Come on out there right when you get off on Kendall Drive and the Turnpike. You go west about 10 minutes. It'll be on your left side, the south side of the road, and you'll see it inside that shopping center. Big old beautiful place. Got TVs everywhere. So we'll have all kinds of stuff. We'll have some fun, some giveaways, everything. So we will see you guys on Sunday, or we'll see you tomorrow, starting off at 10 a.m. at Acura Pembroke Pines. On behalf of Frank Fiore, as always, the Brunetti family, just can't say enough about the Brunetti family, how they've been so supportive, and John Jr. has been just an absolute pillar of stability here, supporting our show. Steve Calabro, of course, the man that runs this entire place, the manager of this fine establishment. So come on out here and check it out. Loosest slots in town, loosest slots in the state. And that's guaranteed right there, bro. That is the law, okay? All right, it's right there. Loosest slots in the entire state. So come on out here. Second floor poker room. Got the Champions simulcast center, all kinds of stuff. So come on out to Hialeah Park. We will see you tomorrow morning. Same time, same place. And we thank Sean Stanley, of course, the best in the business. Same bat channel.